Yo, what up? You know what it is. It's your boy AJ Francis reporting to you live from New York City, the birthplace of hip-hop. And I'm telling you that I'm only tuned in with Tru Heel Heat Wrestling. Holla at me.
All right, hello, Tru Heel Heat. I'm the AEW World Champion MJF. Just in case you're deaf, dumb, blind, stupid, or since you listen to this podcast, or you're listening to Tru Heel Heat, and I apologize for that.
What's up, Tru Heel Heat? Tru Heel Heat.
What's up? Tru Heel Heat.
Rob Van Dam. Listen to Tru Heel Heat. Pow.
Another Saturday morning. Here we are again, Tru Heel Heat 298. 2 more episodes until a very special 300. And we got a lot to discuss coming off the heels of last Saturday's WWE Bad Blood with the return of the final boss, The Rock. And is he going to wrestle at WrestleMania 41? He is. Don't believe Dave Meltzer. Excuse me, I have a cold. And who will he face at WrestleMania if he is to wrestle? We got a lot to discuss over on the AEW side, coming off the heels of their TV deal. They had their record low rating as they switched nights to Title Tuesday for this week's Dynamite and made a major creative shift as Jimmy Jacobs is out the door. We got a lot to unwrap on this edition of the Saturday Morning Cookout. Grab your pates because we're bringing the heat. Let's hit the intro. If I can find it anywhere or our producer can hit it, I got it. There we go. Hello. It is me, your Tru Heel Phenom, SP3. We are live on the Tru Heel Heat YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter for Tru Heel Heat 298 Final Boss Engage, discussing the latest wrestling news, including The Rock's return at Bad Blood and what it means for WrestleMania 41 amid reports that he is not scheduled to wrestle at the event. AEW's creative shakeup with Jimmy Jacobs leaving the company abruptly announced last night. Recap of this week in wrestling with WWE Bad Blood featuring The Rock and Jimmy Uso returning, as well as CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre in a Hell in a Cell classic. SmackDown last night featuring the fallout of Kevin Owens turning on Cody Rhodes, Raw, NXT, AEW Dynamite Title Tuesday going head-to-head with NXT featuring Daniel Garcia deciding to stay in All Elite Wrestling, Collision, Rampage, ROH TV, STARDOM, Nagoya, Golden Fight and TNA Impact. Plus, we got final predictions for AEW WrestleDream and NJPW King of Pro Wrestling coming up this Monday. So we got a lot to unwrap, a lot to discuss. I am joined, as always, by the Tru Draw himself, Josh. How are you doing?
Doing good. Pretty interesting week. Nothing too crazy, nothing too high, nothing too low. Look forward to talking about Dwayne.
Always fun with talking about Dwayne with you. Always fun to talk about anything with you after your rant about Obafemi last week. You went too far, sir. You went too far. You made the man lose his title.
Well, I mean, that's good for him. I mean, that's terrible news, unfortunately.
This man out here, he never holds back. He never holds back, making people certified bums, and they get squashed at Bad Blood, and then he does work on Tuesdays and gets Obafemi up out of here as North American champion. The menace that is the Tru Draw Josh. We appreciate him for joining us. We got a couple of more people that's going to be coming in, and we want to see all you guys coming in today, joining us live, or even if you're watching us on demand. We appreciate y'all for joining us. Remember to show your appreciation back the simplest way possible. Drop the thumbs up on this video. You can also share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you are new to the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. And of course, sound off in the live chat. We love to interact with all of you guys and hear your thoughts on the Tru Heel Heat and this week in wrestling news, because there is a lot to discuss and unwrap for sure, and we always appreciate that. And of course, if you're feeling generous, you want to get back to what we do here, you could send a super chat donation. Any dollar amount matters. It goes back to the contributors that you see on screen with us here, and we always appreciate that kind of support. And we got joining us today a very, very special guest, the man, the myth, the legend, over at WrestleTalk. You've seen him here on the Tru Heel Heat flagship podcast, the most charismatic man in wrestling media. Set E. Niangi is here. How are you doing, good sir?
I'm doing well. Can you hear me? Can you hear me well? Do I sound well? Can you guys hear me, Josh?
You sound well. You sound well.
All right. Yeah, it's good to be here. I assumed I was going to be later when I texted you. And then what I did was I went on YouTube because I just got home and I was checking. I was like, all right. It just started. At one point, I was thinking, wait, what happened to the screen? Like, there's no one on screen. He's doing the whole intro to the show. And I was like, all right, no one turned up. All right, cool. But I'm here. I'm happy to be here. This is my home away from home. This is like my second home. You know, this is where I get to flex my chops if sometimes I do nothing. I'm excited to talk all things wrestling. So yeah, guys, let's talk about it. What's causing all this commotion or rocking the motion in the ocean? I don't know.
You popped our producer in the back. He said, "Oh shit, it's Ahmed Johnson's #1 fan."
You know what? Yeah, Ahmed Johnson's #1 fan. Am I a #1 fan? You know what? I could forgive him if Ultimate Warrior could be a prick and people still hold him in such reverence. You know, we black people can have our pricks and still love them. And Ahmed Johnson's our prick. He's our prick. He's our black prick, for goodness sake. So I'm going to support him. He should have been world champion, but, you know, injury prone and the rise of Stone Cold and The Rock is what prevented him from getting to the next level. So, you know, it is what it is. And I don't care. I like Ahmed. What's up?
We're going to call you the Pearl River Powerhouse Jr.
Maybe I should say this. I'm going to a beat. You know, we do something. We whip your ass. That's how he sounds, right? Allegedly, that's how he sounds. Apparently, I'm just telling the streets, man. I'm taking where back, man. I'm taking back with the street. I'll hold you down, sis. I want to go up down there, go down there. You know what I'm saying? Go down the
You're making me miss True Rewind when I used to do my Ahmed Johnson impersonation. I was getting good at it too.
You know what? Yeah, say what you will. It may have been diabolical in a wrestling sense, but in real life, you got people that sound like that. It was authentic. I'm sorry. Not everyone needs to swallow a dictionary and have Dick Bockwinkel's level.
Dick Bockwinkel. He's already mentioned Black Pricks and Dick Bockwinkel. This is why we invite Sat back.
Listen, Nick Bockwinkel, had a great, eloquent way of doing promos. Rock has his way of doing promos. Not everyone, me and you talked about this, Sid. Not everyone has to sound the same. Not everyone's picking up a microphone. So last week at the facility center, I picked up my microphone. I shoved it up someone's rectum. No, something need to be a little bit crazy, a little bit chaotic, a little bit all over the place. This was my intro. It's gone on for 5 minutes. Back to you, Sid.
This is why we invite Sat on.
Speaking of Ahmed Johnson, I wanted to show Sat this.
Yes. The man with so many knee pads. He needed space on his thighs. He needed space on his butt cheeks. You know what? Yeah, Ahmed's our guy. I don't care. That's what I miss about wrestling, Sid. Wrestling's too clean. I miss when it was.
He looks like he's wearing red leggings.
Yes, I miss the days when wrestling was a bit grimy, a bit messy. Everything's too clean. Everything's too sanitized. And the moment you see a little bit mess, what's going on there? That's not how it's meant to be. Shut up. You grew up in the 90s, grew up in the 80s. We went through a lot of things. You spoiled brats, you ruthless aggression pieces of crap, you PG crap. I love it.
Yep.
I love it. That's true. I'm tired of these people. I'm tired of these work rate merchants. You're lucky to have work rate. Back in my era, it was big guys that couldn't work. We went through a lot of things. We loved wrestling back then. You know what I'm saying? That's real love. We love wrestling when it wasn't even that great sometimes. Give us a break.
And of course, she is always fashionably late because she is our tribal princess. Miss Krssi Luv is here. How are you doing, Miss Krssi Luv?
Hi, I am so happy to see Stat E. Good morning. Well, it's probably afternoon where you guys are. Hi, guys. Good afternoon. Good morning. Good evening. Good night.
Hello.
I'm sorry. I was ready. I was on time. And then when I went to go log in, it just shut down on me and it restarted. You know how Apple do. Sorry, friends. I'm so sorry.
That's fair.
But I'm here. Hello. I'm here. Hey, what's going on?
Krssi Luv in the house.
I didn't miss anything. Did I? See, I'm just here on time. See?
We did the intro. That's all we could get through with that.
One to get that. Listen, things go off the rails when we're all together. Like, this is what happens. It's like you should be used to this by now. Like, we're going to be on what, almost 300?
It's a family reunion.
It's like
Introducing.
It was at the Barclays yesterday too. I'm sad I missed it.
I love that. But yeah, sound off in the live chat. Send those super chat donations. We always appreciate the love. If you want to make sure your comment is highlighted on screen, we got Vala B in the chat, one of our members of the channel and moderator. He says, I tuned in and Sat is talking about Black Prince. Some things never change.
You know what? I don't
remember when he talked about dog dong? He talked about a dog penis on the show. So
listen. Frantic world, pause that, never pause. I am comfortable in my heterosexuality that I could talk about other things and not feel uncomfortable. I got a penis. Sid's got a penis. Josh got a penis. Krssi doesn't have a penis, but she knows about a penis. You know what I'm saying? Penis is a thing.
Very well, too.
Exactly.
She has 2 sons, so she had to see a lot of that.
Exactly. And she take care of 2 boys. Exactly. You know what? Pause what? When people do that, I'm like, dude, be comfortable in your sexuality, for goodness sake. This ain't school anymore. Grow up.
Valabeach also says, I've seen people real mad at Sat for not being positive enough during his Bad Blood WrestleTalk review. I told Sat personally, I was messaging him as he was on live. I wanted to see if he would look at his phone because I was trying to tell him the name of the HBCU band that brought Cody to the ring. And I was so proud of him because he wasn't positive. Because I was like, for the first time in a while, me and Sat agreed that this was not the show to be all positive about. It was all downhill. I was telling the Tru Heel Heat chat. I was like, this show has really went off a cliff since the Hell in a Cell match.
Yeah, the Hell in a Cell match, and then I don't know what else happened to the rest of the show. I mean, the ending, like the middle of the
ending was good.
The end of beginning and end. The sandwich, the buns is perfect. The inside was soggy as fuck. It was just disgusting. It was nasty, and I wanted to throw it away. I wanted my money back.
Listen, the brioche bun was nice.
Yes.
Everything else besides
toasted,
that was
it had
whack.
like the right condiments on it, and then everything else in the inside was just like blah. Me and my husband was watching it, and I was like, I really feel bad for whoever has to come after the Hell in a Cell. What do? They put the fucking girls on.
I literally.
Why
told
would
y'all,
he do that?
I was like,
Why did
PK and Triple H sharing notes. They like, all right, we have a show stealer. What do we put against it? And they look at each other like, women.
But the match got decent reaction, so it failed
the
in
match
that part.
wasn't bad. It could have been. It was little sloppy stuff here and there, but
No, the match.
I'll be honest.
The match was pretty bad.
No, it wasn't pretty bad. Sorry, Dave Meltzer.
I love Nia Jax.
It's pretty bad.
I love
It was
Bayley.
pretty bad.
I think that Bayley has been grossly underrated since winning the championship at WrestleMania. I think that Nia Jax is one of the most improved wrestlers in the world. I've been one of her biggest supporters here on the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel. I can say all of that and also say that was the worst WWE PLE match I've seen this year. But
damn. Wow. Okay.
It was bad. It was bad.
Opinion that they had a bunch of different ideas, but none of them really worked.
I wasn't bored watching the match. Some matches had me like I wanted to reach for the TV screen and give it a kick at times. Listen, Nia tried new stuff. It didn't all go together, but at least she tried. She gets a C for effort, an F in execution, and U maybe because it's unclassified. But she tried.
That's the average is out to a D.
No. Listen, for ages, people used to call her lazy and yada, 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 yada. Since she's lost, she cut some pounds down and she's much more quicker. She's more explosive in the ring. Yeah. I like the match. Even if it's messy, give me a messy match than a boring match. Yes,
I appreciate that. I will not disagree if y'all thought that Damian Priest and Finn Balor was the most boring match out of the three in the middle, because that was.
It's a Raw match. It was a Raw match.
It was a Raw TV match, and the booking of Finn Balor is booking malpractice.
Oh my god! I was screaming at the TV. I was like, "This is such BS again!" And y'all call him a bum. He's getting bummed. He's getting booked like a damn bum. This is terrible.
I mean, to be fair, I call him a bum, and I've been justified calling him a bum.
I mean, okay, fine. Josh called him a bum, but I didn't want to say that, but whatever. But Josh called him a bum, and I've been trying to say, like, I need justice for Finn, and I need justice for Effie. Those are the two people I've been saying justice for the longest now. And there's nothing that has been worked on for these people at all.
Finn Balor is in his Dolph Ziggler run. Like, the guy stopped trying now. People saying he's washed. He's not washed. He stopped trying. I'm gonna lose. Why should I even make an effort? Last time I made an effort, I was the demon. It was Hell in a Cell. They didn't put me over. Why should I care? Edge took his soul in that Hell in a Cell match, and he never been the same. Then Seth Rollins, he got. Oh, I might win the world. No, I'm not winning the world title. Oh, fuck this shit. Listen, Fergal Devitt does not give a shit. Either give me the money. Give me the money. I invented Bullet Club.
He really does.
We literally during the review were like, he just resigned. Like, what are we doing?
What the? You're lying, right? No,
he just resigned.
No, he did a while ago, and he confirmed it himself. He was the one that put the news out today. He resigned.
This is how
all right, guys.
I feel when you just told me that bullshit. Like, I can't. Like, this is ridiculous. How on earth? Why would you do? You know what? It's the bag. He probably is comfortable with working certain days, and then he could see his wife. If his wife is fine with it, and they have a lifestyle upkeep, go ahead, fine.
Guys, I think 2025 is the last year I'm gonna have hope for him. If nothing happens in 2025, then I've given up, because Triple H usually does this. Give it time. Let me give.
This guy said 2025. This guy said 2025.
Oh,
I looked at him like.
I think 2025 is very generous, because I think that ship sailed a long time ago.
Listen, if I can see it,
that ship sailed last year.
Listen, you're right, but same thing was said about Sami and Bayley. Look what happened when they heal for a long time. You get beaten like a drum. I can see him breaking away from Judgment Day eventually, whenever it happens. It needs to be done like yesterday, last month, wherever. 2025 is the last year where I'm like, because Triple H loves this guy. You have to remember, if it was any other guy, if it was, still that old sex offender, I'll be like, all right, cool. The sex offender says, you're always gonna be where you are. You're not gonna move ahead. His highlight can't be his first week or two on Raw. That can't be his highlight. He can't have peaked back in 2016, guys, or 2015, wherever it was. I think the Triple H will at least try to give him a redemption. AJ Styles got redemption. Every wrestler goes through a phase where they look washed, and then all of a sudden they get the rejuvenated push. So if 2025 doesn't happen, I'll give up forever and never come back again.
All right. Well, we're gonna keep tabs on that. We're gonna invite Sat back next year.
That shit's on the that shit's in the abyss. That
Finn
shit's
watch.
in the abyss right now.
When
We're on the
Finn
Finn
watch.
watch. We're on Finn
That
watch.
I'm not.
I'm
That shit's in the
I really
that
don't-
shit's in the fucking abyss at this point. He ain't nothing's gonna happen to him.
I've been on Karrion Cross watch for like nearly a year now.
Why would you? Why would you do that to yourself? Like I could have told you that. Like I would have told you to stop doing. Like now that's
Yeah, at
now
that
that's
point,
what you should call
yeah.
a bum. That's a bum.
Yeah.
That's a damn bum.
I mean, to be fair,
properly-
I mean, to be fair, when you already know something, it doesn't need to be said.
That's okay. You're right. You're right.
Hey, you guys, hey, some of you are half Hispanic, you bloody New Yorkers. You're not supporting your fellow half Hispanic man.
I said it once, I'll say it a billion times. I like Karrion Cross before the bell rings, and then the bell rings, and then I stop liking him. But we need to go into Bad Blood properly. Before we do that, want to shout out all of you supporting us across social media and here on the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel, as well as our Patreon, our Tru Heel roll calls, how we kick off every episode of the flagship here. Our Tru Heel Trinity over on our Tru Heels group page. You got vegan bad boys of podcasting at number 3. Number 2, you got Rian Yeagle, and number 1, Stewie John Palmer. Our Patreon backers, you got Vala B, you got Alan Weinstein, you got the Negro Buck Nick Jackson, Alex McCarthy, Professor Chris, Trey, Robert, Steve, Ladarius, John, aka WrestleScopes, Dan, Kobe, Dolores, John Martin, DJ Eric, Marcus, James, Allen, and Santo. Thank you so much for supporting us over at patreon.com/Tru Heel Heat. $3 a month gets you exclusive content and the best place to support us when we are not live here. But let's get into what we missed. And yes, we got to kick off with WWE Bad Blood last Saturday. The show featured one of the best WWE matches of the year as CM Punk defeated Drew McIntyre in an incredible, brutal, and bloody Hell in a Cell opener to the show that was easily among the best Hell in a Cell matches of all time, ending the 10-month rivalry between Punk and Drew as Punk picked up the victory here. You also had Nia Jax
and died.
the aforementioned Nia Jax beat Bayley to retain the WWE Women's Championship thanks to an assist from Tiffany Stratton. You also had the aforementioned Damian Priest defeated Finn Balor in it was pretty good. It was a Raw TV matchup. But
It really was though. Like they could have been on the next day. They could have had somebody else on the show, but whatever. I'm sorry.
You also had Raquel Rodriguez made her return for the first time since February to WWE to help Liv Morgan and a pinata Dominic Mysterio survive Rhea Ripley as Liv retained despite Rhea winning by disqualification. More on that finish in a bit. You also had Triple H introduce the Crown Jewel Championship, where the WWE champion and the World Heavyweight champion would face each other for the men's and women's division annually at Crown Jewel to determine the champion every year. This led to World Heavyweight champion Gunther coming out to insult WWE Hall of Famer Goldberg and had an intense confrontation with him after disrespecting him as a father until Sami Zayn came out to attack Gunther ahead of their World Heavyweight title matchup the following Monday on Raw. And then finally, you had Roman Reigns and undisputed WWE champion Cody Rhodes defeated the Bloodlines Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu in a great tag team main event, thanks to an assist from the returning Jimmy Uso, helping his OTC pick up the victory. Post-match, you had Jimmy and Roman. They hugged it out before the Bloodline jumped Cody until Roman and Jimmy made the save. Then, as we had a stare down between Reigns and Rhodes, The Rock made his shocking return to an electric pop and stare down with both Cody and Roman. Seth, we will start with you. What was your thoughts on WWE Bad Blood? Quickly, I'll give you my thoughts. I thought this was the worst WWE PLE of the year, which isn't really a big insult as it would have been in the past. I just think that all the other PLEs this year were either very good to great, and this one just felt subpar.
I agree. I'm gonna piggyback off that. The first match, the Hell in a Cell match was incredible. It was a classic. It was everything people hyped it up to be. When I watched it, I was like, it better be great. The way people were hyping it up, I was like, is it really that good? Because when you've watched Hell in a Cell for over 20 years, you're like, what new tricks can you teach me? You don't have to teach me new tricks. Just take it back to the basics. Just make it brutal. And I bloody loved it. And unlike most people, me and Krssi Luv were on the bandwagon that the second match that followed, yes, it wasn't as brutal because it wasn't in a Hell in a Cell cage match, but it had the crowd on their feet at points. It had them reacting. You had the tiffy times. You had a ref bump situation. You had Nia Jax waking up like the Undertaker. You had Nia Jax doing submission holds. She's getting better in the ring. And Nia Jax was the worst Hurricanrana ever. Watch it for that reason. It was bad. But a woman her size trying to Hurricanrana, I salute you, lady. You should Hurricanrana more people, but with better execution.
Worst Samoan drop I've ever seen too.
Again, mistimed issue. Oh yeah, she did bad things. But it's kind of like, oh, look at that. You spilled some milk. Yeah, the milk was spilled. It happens. What are you gonna do? Make fun of them? It wasn't meant to spill the milk, but it happened. What are you gonna do? Bully the person for spilling it? For goodness sake. Oh, is that what we're here to do? I'm not doing that. I support women. I support women. If
I support women too. Don't do that.
Listen,
don't
if
do
a
that.
Woman messes up, I'll be like, lady, I knew what you're trying to do. Better luck next time. I'm not gonna be vicious on them. And the rest of the show, Raquel Gonzalez Rodriguez, she comes back. She takes 2 steps back to NXT. I mean, she's back to being a flipping bodyguard again, and she's back to bungling things. She was improving at some points.
First of all, how do you fuck up your own return? How do you do that?
I blame the referee. The referee's too slow. All right, go back.
I felt bad for her because I was like, this was supposed to be like a big deal, a big pop, and it got like shambled. It was like nasty soup. It was just terrible. It was just like there was no dumpling in the damn soup.
And the cherry on top. Terrible. The cherry on top. So, she put Liv on top of Rhea just to confirm she fucked things up. You know what? You're the one. Yeah. Oh, it's meant to be like that. She fucked up. No, she fucked up. She fucked up so bad. She dragged her on top to let people know. No, Liv this was the blow off to the feud for like, I don't know, 6 months maybe. Because Triple H is a sicko. He'll be like, let's try it again for WrestleMania. Let's try it for WrestleMania. Let's try it for WrestleMania. No, Triple H. Kill this feud. I'm tired of this feud. I'm looking at my camera. I'm tired of this feud. I want a women's title match with other women. The title has been held hostage by these 2 women for how many months? Bring back Becky. You gotta cry about Becky. Where's Becky being women's champion? Becky Hogan. Listen, I'd rather have Becky Lynch who actually gives other women opportunities than this fucking cesspool I'm seeing right now in WWE Raw. Shit! And the main event was fine. And The Rock came back. 1, 2, 3, because he pinned Cody. Did this to Cody as well. So that's what it was. Yes, that's what it was to Cody. I beat you 1, 2, 3. Sorry, Josh, it's your turn.
The additional thoughts on Bad Blood you have.
I mean, nothing new. I mean, we said it was a mid PLE, and I stand by that. I think what it is too is that a lot of people, and I've seen them with fans, right? When they're talking about it, when they're making posts about it, right? They're posting pictures about it. I'm seeing like the same photos, right? I'm seeing like the photo Hell in a Cell. I'm seeing a photo of The Rock, right? And I'm seeing the photo of like main event, right? But then it's like nobody's talking about the bad stuff. I'm like, yo, that whole middle part was bad. Like we just got called like it is. Nia and Bayley was bad. We weren't like making fun of the ladies. That's not what we're doing. But if a match is bad, the match is bad, and we just call it down the middle, right? That's what me and Sid did. We were like, it was the worst match of the night. And honestly, it was the worst match. It was the worst match of the night. It was
ugly. I wasn't say bad. It was ugly. You cringe. Because Sid did cringe. That's ugly. But it didn't mean bad is like you want to turn off the TV. You're like, I'm not wrestling.
No, that don't mean shit. No.
That was bad.
No. First of all, don't even try that with me. The match was bad.
It was ugly.
The match. No. The match was bad.
If it had one botch set, I would just be like, it was ugly.
It's forgiving. It's forgiving.
It was like from the beginning, from the Huracan spot on, it just seemed like they weren't on the same page throughout that matchup. And I am a person that was higher on the SummerSlam matchup more than a lot of people. I thought their SummerSlam match was at least decent.
It
was at least solid.
It was better. It was better.
This one, they tried too many things that they could not do.
Yeah, and it was bad. That's just what it is.
It was not the bad women's match for the two. One had a fuck up that nearly derailed the whole situation. When it was silence, Raquel's back.
I will say the finish to Rhea and Liv is
worse.
The finish of a PLE. Yeah. And
it's the worst finish, but the match was fine before that.
Yeah, the match was solid up until that, but the finish, well, I can understand why people would think that match is worse because it's usually how you finish in WWE. Right. And I will say, I will give Bayley and Nia a little credit that their last 3 minutes of their matchup did have the people, excited and into their matchup. It's just that we had the previous 9 minutes.
All right, we can agree to disagree. Yes, we can.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, I expect you. I respect you guys. Listen, I'm not even trying to convince you guys. Listen, if I didn't have a different metric, if I wasn't, I give some leeway. You guys know, you guys are strict. I've seen you guys. You guys are strict about your wrestling. You guys are like, fuck up once, and I'm like, no, it's okay. It can happen as long as you recover well. Yeah, as long as you recover.
No. I'm really, no. Usually, I'm more like lenient when it comes to that. Like, it was like one fuck up. I'm not that type of person that if there's one fuck up, oh my god, the match is terrible, right? But it's more of like if the match is good, like what 99% of the match is good, then you're fine. But then when you keep having like mistake after mistake, or if something just doesn't look right or is sloppy, then I just call it like it is. Because even Wendy, before I even said anything, after she was just like, "Oh, that match was a mess."
I'm just happy that no one got hurt because that somersault into the corner or the sunset flip into the corner by Bayley, where Nia's whole body lands on Bayley's knee. I was worried because we all know Bayley got a history of knee problems.
Yeah, and then I would say about the Rhea and Liv match. To me, it kind of started falling apart for me once Dom got out of the cage. Like, once they focused on the cage opening, I think that's where it kind of went downhill for me. Because they focused a little too much on that. Then they had Rhea try to play into like the whole camera thing, the ref, like, oh, just give me a minute. Let me go outside. That kind of like that took it out. Yo, bro, that took it out for me too. I was just like, yo, like I was like, that's just fucking stupid. I was like, so she basically got a timeout. That's basically what they gave her. Like they granted her a timeout. And then she did what she did. And then that whole Raquel thing was just, it was a mess. And it's crazy because a lot of people did say, like, I know, including Sid, that Raquel might come back in this spot, like might come back. And it ended up happening, but nobody really talked about it because the finish was terrible. It was terrible. It was and then on top of that, we had somebody else who legit tried to defend it without actually paying attention to what happened.
Who was that idiot?
Don't do this person again. I didn't want to mention him on the review. I'm not gonna draw attention to his mess up.
Oh no, I am.
We mentioned him.
Oh no, I am because
it was
just
terrible. I felt so
it was
bad
just
for
fucking
Raquel.
stupid.
Like she deserved better than that.
I'm saying like no, it was just fucking stupid. How like we're so used to like WWE shills and drones, right? Defending anything. But then when you see it firsthand, somebody defending something that they legit admit that, if that was the case, then, I apologize. It's like, what, you didn't fucking pay attention to the goddamn match? You didn't fucking pay attention? And then on top of that, try to make it about somebody else. Like, you see, you were wrong. This was the main event for a reason. This was the main event for a reason. It's like, no, bro. And it was like, oh no, bro. Like, oh no. And I had to call him out. I was like, no, you were just wrong because you didn't fucking pay attention. That's a big fucking difference. Just because the Hell in a Cell was in the main event, that don't mean shit to me.
My
right?
husband,
A lot of people,
my husband, that he watches it occasionally. He was like, "Shouldn't this be the end of the show?" He was like, "Why did they start the show?" I was like, "Well, case scenario, if you're not going to end the show, you want to start the show." And Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns were not going to open the show. And he was like, "Oh, I got it." He was like, "But this match would have killed at the end." But I think it just set the tone.
Yeah.
But if it would have ended the show, we probably would have been bored the whole fucking show regardless. So we would have had to wait for,
It still would have been the soggy sandwich.
That's what I'm saying. It still would have been like.
It still would have been.
So technically,
but
way.
I think it was fine. I think with The Rock coming out, you had to put that in the main event, and I'll stick with that because it's The Rock. He took the main event spot from Phil again. So it's The Rock.
12 years later, there you go, Rocky.
I
Krssi,
think Phil was fine with it.
Any final thoughts on Bad Blood?
No, I've given you my thoughts. It was a soggy sandwich. The beginning and ending was great. The middle was trash. 5 matches, still was a long ass fucking show.
Yo,
3.5 hours. 3.5 hours for a 5-match show.
That started at 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock. We still finishing after fucking 10. Make sense?
Ad breaks.
You might as well start at 8 o'clock. That's the fucking
and another belt. That ugly belt.
Oh yeah. I will say another positive. I will say that when it comes to that segment,
they need all their money back.
When it comes to that segment, I will say Gunther did say that segment. When he did say that segment, because this whole thing about the historic announcement, I was just like, bro, you're just giving them a title that's they're not going to defend. Like, how's this historic?
It's happening every year now. Oh my god, great, good job.
Well, they apparently they are open to it being defended on Saudi shows. It'll be the Saudi Arabia title.
It's a Saudi belt, so it doesn't affect the world title plans.
The sports watching title. But let's get into
on this show. I would. Oh my god, that's nasty.
Let's get into the big news coming out of Bad Blood. Like we said before, The Rock made his return at WWE Bad Blood last weekend, showing up after the main event to stare down with Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. In a post on Instagram, he commented on the situation and promised fans he'd see them soon. He wrote, "The show ain't over until the final boss says it's over. There's no business like the show business, and there's no connection stronger and more electrifying than that of the people and the people's champ. You can feel the mana. Final boss engaged. See ya down the road." In a video uploaded to TikTok from a fan at Bad Blood, Solo Sikoa was heard in the crowd leading over to Jacob Fatu and telling him that The Rock's return was all part of the plan.
Yep.
With The Rock not making it entirely clear who he was targeting, many fans have speculated that Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, and The Rock will face off at WrestleMania 41 instead of a singles match taking place featuring just 2 of these stars. Per WrestleVotes on a Backstage Pass Q&A, this idea has been floated around backstage. WrestleVotes said, "My thought is it signifies that's where we're going for WrestleMania. The Rock doing the 1, 2, 3 as in the triple threat match. Yeah, I can tell you that's on the table. I don't know for sure if it's been finalized in any way. It's October 8th. I doubt it's been finalized, but that idea has been floated, and I think it makes the most sense for the company to get those 3 guys in the ring." The Rock has been teasing a one-on-one matchup with Cody Rhodes for months, and with the rumor that the fans will fight the 2 will fight at WrestleMania 41. However, the Wrestling Observer newsletter reports that at this time, The Rock is not scheduled to appear at the event. It was noted that he could change his mind as he does what he wants, just as it has been in the past. Some backstage with old school mentalities felt that it wasn't right for The Rock to show up at Bad Blood and take the attention away from everyone else if it's not building to a match. One source noted that The Rock will not be doing Mania and has already told WWE he wouldn't be part of the event. A specific reason was not given, although different reasons were given to different people. The source blamed Rock's schedule, noting that it got too heavy, so he couldn't commit to the full training camp and preparation he usually does before his matches. Rock not having enough time to train is why the match with Roman Reigns didn't happen at WrestleMania 39. If The Rock does change his mind, he will likely have until just before Royal Rumble to do so. Doing so after would throw everything into chaos, quote unquote. The only way Rock would get any pushback for what he wants to do is if he decided he wanted to win the WWE title. Finally, it was noted that a talent that would be involved in the program indicated they didn't know anything, but only Nick Khan, Paul Levesque, and Bruce Pritchard would know, with possibly Reigns, Rhodes, and Paul Heyman as well. Seth, we'll start with you. What do you think about the possibility of The Rock not competing, not wrestling at WrestleMania 41? And if he is to do so, and you don't believe Dave Meltzer, which I'm not going to tell you what not to do and not do, but I'll say I don't believe The Rock is not wrestling at WrestleMania 41. Dave, you're gonna have to give me some sources and a reason for that. But if he is to wrestle, who would you like to see him face? Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, or both? Seth?
So I'm not gonna disparage Dave Meltzer. I'm on the camp of Dave Meltzer is a legend. We're more like kids, grandkids of Dave Meltzer in terms of talking about wrestling and behind the scenes stuff. So I would never disparage him. But he's like that uncle sometimes that you do kind of like side eye, and sometimes you do kind of talk back because you're older now. I'm like a grown man in my 30s. I'm not an idiot, Uncle Dave. What you're saying sounds a bit like cap, but I'll let you have the seat and say what you want to say. It's your table. We're all sitting on it. I don't. The thing is, right? I swear it was you that convinced me triple threats are not the wave. Triple threats not the wave for a match of any magnitude. So I stayed away from it. But The Rock is a guy in his 50s and jacked. How long do we have Dwayne Johnson mobile for? You know what I'm saying? So it's a bit hard for me, like, to give you a quick answer. I want Cody and The Rock because I felt like that's what they built up. That's how Dwayne slightly politicked his way. It's like, you know what? This Cody kid's over. He's so over that he upended me as a babyface. I want to match with him, actually. I want to give him some mana, as they say. Some mana. He is Hulk Hogan now. He is Hulk Hogan in Toronto 2002. He might even start, stealing his shine a bit. Who knows? I want Cody and Rock because Rock pinned Cody in the middle of the ring of night one of WrestleMania. I stayed up for both of those WrestleManias talking about it non-stop. So I want to see the payoff at WrestleMania, not at Royal Rumble, not at at Elimination Chamber, not a Backlash. I want it at WrestleMania. But at the same time, we're lucky we got night one and night two. He can face both of them in night one and night two and lose to both of them. I don't know. That'll be my other, suggestion. Face them at night one and night two. Historic. But Dwayne Johnson facing two people when it's not a tag match, I don't know if that's going to happen. So it's hard for me, man, because I know how long we wanted a Roman match. By some points, I did feel like the ship has sailed with that. They should have done it a long time ago. Things have changed. Give me Jacob Fatu and Roman Reigns instead. I don't know. If it was me, if Rock's healthy enough, this next year's Cody, the year after that, Roman. But it sounds crazy because we don't know how long we have a mobile Dwayne Johnson for.
I've said for a year now that he told us last year after everything went haywire, he said, I'm a long gamer and you don't know what's about to happen. So we got the tag team matchup this year. I think that the plan was for Rock and Cody next year at WrestleMania, and then 42, which could possibly be in London. That's The Rock and Roman. I think that's still. I think 42 with Rock and Roman, it's still in the line. But I've had to do a show with Jimmy Mack, who is basically really kind of convinced me that Cody is not the next guy. And the more he says it, and there is business facts that support that Cody is the next guy. Because the WWE is hotter than it's ever been, and he's the top guy currently. And 32 out of 35 matches that he's main event this year have been sellouts for WWE. So you cannot deny the numbers back up Cody. He's the number one merch mover in the company. You can't deny that. But to me, the way WWE has booked Cody's title reign very much feels, and you would appreciate this, Sat, it very much feels like Macho Man in 1988. That you have the title, you're the best worker, you're number 1B. Because number 1A is Hulk Hogan in 1988. And number 1A in 2024 is Roman Reigns. And I don't see how you don't not include 1A in your main event of WrestleMania. So despite how I felt this time last year when it was looked like we were going to get when the decision was what we're going to do, Rock versus Roman or Roman versus Cody, and people were saying triple threat, and I was like, nah, that's not a good idea. Now it is. The story has changed. It's evolved to the point that you have multiple money matchups. You could do Cody versus Roman at 41. 3. That's a big matchup right now because they're 1A, 1B. They're Austin Rock. They're Macho Man Hulk Hogan. You could do Roman versus Rock because you've been building that for pretty much a decade now. You could do Rock versus Cody because you've been building that for a year now. But if you're going to check all the boxes and not leave Roman kind of out on the cold, then the triple threat is the right decision. Because I'm sorry, I was all for 6 months ago. I was all for Solo Sikoa versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 40.
No,
that shit done sailed. That shit done sailed. That ship done sailed because y'all overexposed Solo Sikoa. I would love for even at one point over the last 6 months, I was all for Jacob Fatu versus Roman Reigns. But that's a lesser matchup for your number one star overall. So yes, the triple threat seems like the best option if Rock's gonna wrestle at Mania. Krssi, where are you at? What do you think about Rock not being scheduled or reportedly not being scheduled to wrestle at WrestleMania? And who do you think he should face if he is to wrestle?
I don't really believe it because I feel like he loves the attention. He will try to make his way there if he can. Even if he's appearing there, I feel like he will make his way there some kind of way. And it's Vegas, so it's not that far from his fucking house. He can get there on a plane. Easy. Anywho. Who should he wrestle? I'm with you, SP. I'm fine with the triple threat. Because you have your number one and your number two guys there. They have to be on the card some kind of way. And they have to close out one of these shows. So I'm fine with that. And, you know, Cody and Roman can do most of the work while Rock lays on the floor. If that's the case. No problem. Will he win? Probably not. But it's okay.
No, I can see Cody or Roman winning that triple threat.
Right, exactly. He doesn't need to win. He has a belt that he keep coming out with that no one really gives a shit about.
The People's Champion. What are you talking about? Prestigious People's Champion.
He gave
the
it
daughter
to
of Muhammad Ali gave it to him.
He told her to give it to him.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly, Stat. He told, hey, you're gonna present this to me. I'm gonna be so surprised and so happy.
What? It's not about my husband. I forget about your husband. Give me the belt.
Are you trying to say that The Rock is politicking?
You know what? Let him politic. How many years? This is like 20 years of politicking he saved up. He's like, I'm gonna cash it in when I need it.
Yeah.
He froze it. He put it like Austin Powers, and he froze it in time, and now he's run it all out.
My family's getting
right
fed.
into the sunset, like till the wheels fall off. That's just what it is, and it's okay. I'm fine with that. Walk around with your people's champion. That's who you name yourself. Great. And you have this big bull on it instead of the WWE symbol. Still stupid, but hey, whatever you like that makes you happy, go right ahead. I'm gonna stand right next to you.
Also, Roman Reigns, he's taking a page from the Clicks playbook. I'm gonna wrestle with my people. We're all gonna main event. My people's getting over. Jimmy's over. Acknowledge him.
My husband said he look a little slow. He look a little rusty. He's like, is it me? Or he look just like a little like rusty. Like he doesn't look like he's like 100% like there.
Roman.
Roman.
It could, you know what? Yeah, it could be his real life things. You know, he got leukemia, so I don't know if the medicine is taking it.
I told my husband, I was like, I mean, this is his second, match back. Like he's been gone since April. Like, give him a little. He was like, I mean, if you're gonna come back or you're gonna be all that, like I'm just saying, he
was ripped
doing
though.
crucifixes. He was
ripped. He was ripped. This ain't Royal Rumble.
This is someone that doesn't watch often. I'm just telling you, these are what
Krssi,
my partner. What do you wanted him to do? Punch a guy and then talk for 5 minutes like he was doing when he was the top?
No, he's not. He's big dogging. He's big dogging again.
I was like, he's the big dog. He's the heel. Right now, he's playing like the face, the anti-hero. Like he's kind of like play his role. So he's not gonna be out there like moving like he used to. Like he's still the boss, but at a different caliber now. It's a different chapter of the book.
This ain't Royal Rumble, guys. This is when my partner Sophie doesn't watch often. She goes, Roman looks a bit. He hasn't been working out. Like Royal Rumble when he looked. I think was it Royal Rumble? He lost the abs. He wasn't even trying. He must have got used. He may lose the title.
When they watch like off, they come in occasionally and they're like, so this is what's going on here. And you gotta explain, it's like a movie that you've never seen, but I gotta explain it to him.
And then you see him at WrestleMania because he knew he was gonna stand next to The Rock. He looked amazing at WrestleMania.
So that's why he had to get it.
And I think he looked amazing at Bad Blood because he wanted to make Cody look bad.
Yeah. Petty.
He's like, I gotta be ripped.
Petty. We're back. The World Wrestling Federation is back. Politics is back, man. Back, man.
Politicking in plain sight. In plain sight.
Only Cody's the only one up politicking like a doofus.
What's going on? Not a doofus, damn.
No, listen, I love Cody, but Cody part of his charm is that he's a bit of a doofus. Someone goes, Cody's getting a little brogue like he's Daniel Garcia. That's part of Cody's charm. He's a cornball. He's corny. He's not cool. We love him for that. He's very earnest.
That's how I feel about Drake. He's a cornball.
Listen, that was back in the days.
He's
now
great music,
Drake's
but
an old man.
Now
he's like
person, and the way he talks, he's a fucking cornball. He would never be popular.
Listen, not just a cornball. He's like a lame old guy. You're like, dude, you're like what, 40? You're nearly 40, and you're still doing anything. I was in my 20s when you came out. Now I got nearly 2 kids, and you're still rapping about the same thing. Girls what? Girls that should be your daughter's age. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck? Get out of here. Oh,
he's
fuck.
a cornball. Such a lame.
He's lame.
Such a loser. I was like,
Even Jay-Z and Eminem knew they had to rap different once they got older, but Drake don't get it. Drake don't get it.
He does not.
Josh,
he still want to hang out with the young kids and be on their shit and still do full-blown albums with these people. I'm so sorry we're going off. I'm so sorry. Sorry. The word cornball triggered me, and I just needed to let that off my chest. I'm sorry.
You had that waiting for us. Josh, what do you think about all the reports in regards to The Rock, and if he is to wrestle at WrestleMania, who should it be against?
I mean, I don't believe it. I don't believe he's not showing up. Who he should wrestle? My guess would be hopefully a random person, and he can have the opening match and leave the main event to Cody and Roman.
Not leave, damn. Okay. Wow.
This guy out here being a Dwayne hater, a final boss hater. This man, major guy, Cody. Put him on the map.
No, he did not.
Made him.
No, he did not.
Made him.
No, he didn't.
Made him.
No, he didn't.
Put him on the map.
Oh, so he made Cody the same way he made Black Adam, right? Is that what you're telling me?
Well, you see, they had a plan. He just listened to the fans, and that's why Cody got the main event of WrestleMania.
Nah, I mean, all jokes aside, I do think he's wrestling. I think he's wrestling Mania. You just don't bring The Rock back in this fashion and not use him for an event like that. Especially when we already had a match with him, or we already seen a match, so people are expecting more from him. As far as what he does with the match, maybe it is a triple threat match. We spoke about it last week too. I was like that. I think this is probably the best bet is the triple threat match because honestly, from what we saw at 40, he was taking a lot of bumps, right? He was taking a lot of bumps, and he was doing more than we expected. But the style how he was wrestling. I mean, he was wrestling like somebody who's in their 50s, because that's what he is. He's 50. So, you know, when it comes to that, do you really want to see a singles match with him at a main event spot? I think the triple threat match will cover a lot, honestly.
You know what?
The triple threat match would, you know, he could do less work.
Anywhere thing, like, you know, do one of those things.
He was that tag match was Attitude Era-esque tag match for fighting the crowd, waste some time. Right. You know, he knows the formula. He knows how to expand the horizons. If it was Seth Rollins versus The Rock, then yeah, 1-on-1. He needs someone that can bump, that, you know, can do most of the work. You're right. He's quite limited. When he came, I'm like, you know what, Dwayne, you're a man in your 50s and you got muscles you never had when you're in your 20s and 30s. So understandable. No, I mean, you're limited. You're moving like Warlord.
No, I'm saying, but he played it smart, like to his credit. Because remember, when we saw him back, when he came back the first time, you know, he had all those muscles and he was 40 at that point. And I think the problem was that his endurance just wasn't the same. Like, he was trying to do what he used to do at 40 while having all those muscles, and you saw the result of that. Like, he was gassed out within like 3 minutes. So I think, you know, so like
power move.
That's what we saw, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he worked like a big man.
Yeah,
he was doing like the clubbering blows and stuff like that. He was working like a New Japan dad. That's what he
was.
Forearms, getting punch. Yeah.
So I mean, I wouldn't be against the triple threat. I think that actually would benefit him more. I think that would benefit everybody a little bit more, because even if he doesn't win the match, it really doesn't hurt him. So then if he does eventually have a singles match even after 41, then it kind of helps him in a sense. Like, it kind of helps him. As far as him winning the title, I totally see Dwayne doing that. Give me the belt. I definitely see him doing that, because it's fucking it's Dwayne Johnson. Like, come on.
He's like, Paul, just listen to me. Listen to me out. You gotta have
come on.
Netflix. You gotta have this Netflix premiere. Have something big.
You know, right?
And I think beating Cody on the Netflix premiere is the way to go.
Hey man, he tried to take DC from WB. He tried to take DC from WB. He failed at that. He tried to take Fast and Furious from Vin Diesel, and he failed at that.
You know what?
And then this past year, he tried to take the main event. I mean, he got the night one, but he got a tag team match. But he wanted the title match, and he failed at that too. So Dwayne is a failure when it comes to that. So I mean, he could try to ask for the title. He could ask for the title, but he's probably not going to get it, because, again, when we see his politicking, hasn't really gone his way. So
ungrateful Cody fan. This ungrateful Cody fan. Jesus.
Did someone do something bad to you?
I mean, let me ask you, but let me ask you this question. Everything that I just said, was it a lie?
A slight embellishment.
You put a little razzle dazzle on it, just a team.
Yeah. You stretched the truth a bit. You know what I'm saying? He did what was right for the fans. He wasn't like the sex offender. Listen, if he was a bad guy, he could deal with the sex offender. Fuck you.
No, I never. Well, I mean, to be fair, I never said Dwayne is a bad guy. I just said he has a massive ego.
Listen,
and he just doesn't want to be true. But he doesn't want to be true to himself about it. No, I'm saying, but that's the problem, though, right? We all know he has an ego. He thinks he doesn't have one. That's the problem.
Because he went 40 years of his life not having a massive ego.
Yeah. All of a sudden, Hollywood showed him you need to have an ego to get some places. Hollywood taught him how to be a shark, and now he takes that work ethic back to WWE. Whoever taught him that, Danny Garcia, his ex-wife, whoever got in his ear, changed his outlook on life. My guy was a sweet guy. He got skinny for Disney films. Remember that? He was in them crappy direct-to-video. He used to listen to everyone. Everyone used to take control of his career. He was happy-go-lucky Dwayne Johnson. I'm just happy to be here. And then one day, his ex-wife was like, nah, man, you need to take control of your destiny. And since then, he's never looked back. You have to be a shark. He learned it the first run.
Listen, I mean, hey, there's no, my thing is that there's no problem with being a shark. My problem is that you're trying to be a fucking dolphin while being a shark. That's the problem.
That's how he
That's
handles it.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm
saying.
saying. No, I'm saying, but that's all I'm saying. I'm like, bro, we see the bullshit. Just be a fucking shark.
From The Rock or from Cody?
That's all I'm saying. From The Rock. That's all I'm saying. Hey, just be a shark. We all see it at this point. Just be a fucking shark.
Like, show people who you really are. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, he did. He came out and he did this. That's who I am.
Final boss. But yeah, we're gonna keep track.
He almost tried to destroy Tyrese. You know, like.
I mean, kind of did. But we're going to keep track of The Rock and his status for WrestleMania in the months and weeks to come. We do got a couple of comments in the chat here. Call me Mr. Bonda says, nostalgia is a hell of a drug. I get it, but it's not 2003 anymore. He ain't cooking nothing in ring no more. Hey, I don't know about y'all, but I enjoyed the tag team matchup.
Me too.
Great selling. Criticisms of The Rock. It was a great match.
He showed you how to sell a spear.
I'm saying it was a great match because it worked. It worked to his benefit.
Night one.
Yeah, it worked to his benefit as well. Like he did things that was smart. He took bumps. He didn't overwork himself. So by the point that he got the pinfall, it meant something. Like he was the one that was going to get the win. So it meant something. It wasn't like he was out there gassed out, did absolutely nothing, and then get credit for the match. You know, like the school kid that gets he puts his name on the school project and gets an A.
Yep.
Like The Rock didn't do that. The Rock earned it. The Rock earned it. He earned it at that main event.
God,
two things he needs in his age now, and he has it, and he doesn't need to do any flips or Canadian destroyers. He has aura and psychology. That's all he needs.
I face palm because I know, Frantic World, you're an AEW fan, and sometimes you do criticize WWE without watching it, but you cannot say stuff that is just a blatant lie. He said Fast and Furious started to go down when The Rock joined the cast. Fast and Furious got great.
That's definitely not.
How the fuck did you say
Fast 5
that?
is the best one. Fast 5 is the best one.
Fast 5 is the best one.
That's when Fast and Furious started making big money in the box office. What the fuck are you even talking about?
The Rock saved it. And was it G.I. Joe? They bought The Rock.
And was a G.I. Joe. Tell it, Frantic. Yeah. Now, Fast 5 got terrible once Homeboy died. That's when they went downhill.
Yeah, exactly. And also Pain and Gain. People say, listen, Pain and Gain was the
Pain
last
and Gain
time
was
he
mad
tried.
good.
Yes, it was the last.
So good.
It was the last time he tried to be an actor, and he was so good. That was like his last hurrah. He goes, guys, I put on this muscle. I'm not leaving it. Hurrah, Oscar. Hurrah, Academy Awards. Hurrah, Golden Globes. I'm going to be the action star. Pain and Gain, he was great. Because people say, oh, he plays the same character. Watch Pain and Gain. He's capable of being a good actor.
Once they wanted to send niggas to Earth, it was over. That's when that shit was going down.
Watch Pain and Gain.
Once they went to send them niggas to space, that was like, okay, throw this whole shit in the fucking garbage right now. I can't watch these stupid things. You're sending Ludacris and Tyrese to fucking space. This is dumb.
When I saw the trailer for 8, that's when I was done with Fast and Furious. So I agree with Paula B. The peak of Fast and Furious is 5, 6, and 7. And 7 is a push.
7 was the last one that Paul was in, right?
Yeah, that's the one that ends with
that was
Paul
it.
Walker.
When Paul Walker. Actually, I don't think I finished that. I was like 5 and 6, 7. You're kind of pushing it. When I already died, I'm like, yeah, I'm watching it. I haven't watched it in a long time. As far as I'm concerned,
you haven't missed much.
Paris or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just telling you now, like they've done what more can you do? Like, we need to stop now.
Hopefully
they're like the Expendables now. They keep just putting all these old people together and just want to keep having just more and more.
It's for family. It's for family.
You sound like you're about to belch. We got WWE.
Oh my God, Stat E, did you know? Wait, hold on. I gotta show you my picture. Hold on. I met your friend, and it was so happy to meet him. Hold on, what is it? Okay, hold on.
I am Groot. You know, about family.
Stop talking like that. Look.
Yo, I love it. Yes.
Never seen Krssi more happier. Never seen it.
Wonderful. That's
Our favorite.
awesome. That's
Our favorite.
awesome. Did you spit some game? You're like, hey, bruv.
I did say bruv several times, and he started laughing. And I couldn't hold up all the stuff because the damn kids was there. But it was more for the kids. But fuck the kids at the time.
Sure.
I was saying, this is my time.
So good, man. I'm happy, man.
My-
So happy.
My time to shine. She was
Yeah.
telling me to tell you, said that she wanted to say hi to him when we saw each other.
Yeah. I remember.
was
I
like,
remember.
I sent him a message, and he was like, maybe. And he was, whatever. It's like, all right, no worries.
No, it's don't come on, man. Don't give me that, man. Do you know how hard it is to have a friend as a successful wrestler, and
I know.
you want to treat him like him, not as
Yes,
a
I know.
successful wrestler. That's
You
the
want
hardest
to
thing.
treat him a regular person. I know.
It's the hardest thing,
Yeah,
is that you're trying to treat him regular, but his job is so interesting. So you start asking for the tea. You're like, what's going on?
Yeah, what's going on with Tony Khan, bro?
What's going on with that, yo?
What are you
Did you really want to
Callis
kick
family?
Don Callis in the nuts? Because I really want to
Yo,
know that.
I've been asking him to leave that. When he said people warn me, I'm people. I said to leave that group. He said, I'm people. I said it from day one. I said it doesn't make sense. United Empire is getting absorbed into this bald-headed guy's flipping faction. He looks like a thumb with sunglasses. Get away from this guy.
Hey, it's an interesting story, which
It is, though.
we're
It kinda-
screen right now on AEW, but we'll get into that. It seems that Kevin Owens has finally had enough of Cody Rhodes after the WWE champion teamed up with Roman Reigns at Bad Blood. A video was posted online with footage shot by a fan
Someone warned us about this.
featuring
warned us about
Owens attacking Rhodes in the parking lot after Bad Blood. It's unclear what was said, but it shows Owens poking Rhodes before hitting him right across the face. Officials eventually came in and broke things up. PW Insider had additional details on the post-show angle. PW Insider reports that WWE intentionally executed the angle between Owens and Cody in full view of the fans outside of Rhodes' tour bus. The idea was to reportedly create a viral moment on the internet, since fans would record the moment and then share it on social media, and WWE was very pleased with the reaction to this angle. I thought that it was very creative. It was very innovative. At the time, I was like, really? They did that? They did that off camera? Why wouldn't they do that? Show that at the end of like the press conference?
Get more heat with
or
more
something.
plays on
Like,
internet.
no, it made it more creative and clever doing it in this fashion. So I'll give them credit, especially considering what went down on SmackDown, which we'll get into a minute. So I very much enjoyed it.
And they did it on purpose when they knew people would be leaving and being outside. And they know people be looking to see where the buses and everything is at. So and it's still early. So people are still like hanging around the stadium and things like that. So they did it very strategically. I think they did it very, very well.
If it was me, I'd just get a stagehand disguised as a fan, use his phone and pretend he's a fan. I mean, maybe it was
Could have done that.
a worker. Maybe it was a worker. Listen, because you can't dictate how the fans are going to act. That's the one thing you can't do. But apparently, some people were told, like they were strategically told to go a certain direction. So
okay. Well then, listen. Whatever means to get the stuff going and get your views, do it.
That iPhone 6 footage, saved the day. What can I say?
Thank you, Santa. We appreciate y'all. We got a few more people watching now. Remember to drop the thumbs up on the video and send a super chat donation if you want to make sure your comment is highlighted on screen as well. Aubrey James saying Kevin Owens' heel turn is justified. Cody is the real bad guy. Like, you team up with my ops, I should be mad too. Yeah, that's why I like this heel turn, because it does feel like Kevin Owens is a bit justified in his feelings against Cody Rhodes. I'll give him that. And that's why I kind of feel like, going back to AEW, that's why I kind of feel like Kyle Fletcher ain't a good friend, because Don Callis admitted he betrayed your boy and you still conflicted, nigga? What we doing? Like,
Bingo.
You can't side with the ops. That's all I'd say. I agree, Aubrey. I agree. What did you think about the viral heel turn, Seth?
You know what? A part of me wanted it to be a red herring for a surprise Randy Orton heel turn. That's how I thought that's where we're going. Is like, look over here, guys. This guy's angry and he's mistrusting his friend. But the other guy, He's the one you should be watching out for. You know what I'm saying? That's why I thought it was Guy, and I thought it's too obvious. It's like the telegraphing it so much on the nose that he's got anger issues and trust issues. I thought, nah, they're not gonna do it. He's too grown for that. But at the same time, he's being babyface on and off, I guess. It's hard. I wanted him to be a world champion as a babyface. I feel like he's reached that point where being a heel is just it's because we've seen what a heel Kevin Owens is like. It's been there, done it. Kevin Steen, if you want to go back, he's a scumbag, right? That's like his core, but he's like a scumbag that should have matured. But at the same time, if there's ever a time to revert, not even revert, you know, he's hurting a different level. He's like, I was a nice guy. I did all the right things, but you fucked me over. What's the point of being nice when I get fucked over? And I want him, if Cody's gonna lose the title to anyone, I don't mind a nice, healthy 2-month run with Kevin Owens as champion. If there's ever a time to give him a belt, the guy's in his 40s. I know we don't do age anymore because, you know, the sex offender who's old as fuck should have retired. He can't retire, but y'all should retire when you get a little bit of gray. Kevin Owens should be world champion like now. I want him. He's gonna attack Sami Zayn just to solidify it because Cody. I love Cody, but you get certain people that's weird about Cody. So you need Sami Zayn, who's beloved, to be, you know, to strike that point. I want Kevin Owens to be world champion. I want Randy Orton to feud with Cody as well. But where do you fit that in? He's also gonna have a little storyline as well. Is all the people affected by Cody's choices? They're gonna come after him because Cody needs his own storyline away from the bloodline. The Cody verse. The WWE version of the Cody verse. I've been enjoying that. AJ's been a part of it. You know, Kevin's been a part of it. I just want more of that. I want him away from the bloodline stuff so he's not getting little broed or, you know, outshone. Because Cody doesn't have to try. The fans love him regardless.
Yeah,
like some people. He didn't need to politic. Yeah, Krssi, he didn't need to politic. Crowds love him. He's got the Midas touch.
I'll give it to this because this felt like the first Cody storyline outside of the bloodline that they actually built to. I like the whole Mark Henry fake retirement thing AJ did, but it wasn't really built to, and it was only just to set up and make it necessary to do a rematch more than it was a kind of drawn out angle to do. This one was.
But remember they was teasing us about, you know, him turning, or, you know, eventually, like, he's done this before, like he's turned his back on all his friends. They had the footage there. I forgot who showed us the footage of like
A-Town Down Under.
Yep. Yes. They did this. So they should have a show saying, didn't we tell you guys? We tried to warn you. We told you. That should be the next segment to keep the shit going. Hence, show you this a few months ago. Now you get attacked. Now you do this. This is how you get the stories all going full 360 and combine them.
Keep the same energy. Keep the same energy. We got a comment for Sat here from Vala B. He says, and can I say this? Sat, brother, back me up. Scream 5 and 6 were the best Scream movies. 1 was, but that's a close second and third for me.
Wait.
Top 5.
You can't say the grandkids are better than the grandparents. Without the grandparents, there are no grandkids. That's my answer to your thing. I think Scream 5 and 6 is better than 4. I wasn't a huge fan of 4 the first time I watched it, but I appreciate the reveal. The reveal is what saved the whole film, and I hate the fact that people say it's great. No, the reveal was great. It was a boring film. Up until the reveal, it was a boring film. I appreciate the reveal because a part of me was sad because I wanted what's her name? Roberts, whatever her name is. Was it Erica? Emma Roberts. I wanted her to be the next Sydney for the next film. So that's why I had my hopes on. You're the next baby face. What do you mean you're the heel? That's what soured me. Vince Russo booking. That's what I thought the first time I watched it. But I watched it the second time. I appreciate they try something different. And the fact she's not really dead, they can bring her back for this new one. 5 and 6 I like 5 and 6. There's a lot of questionable killings in 6, as in some people should have died, but wherever black person not dead. All right, I take that.
That's what hurt 6 for me, is that it's too ridiculous that these people are the fact that the brother survived them stabbing
12 stabbings.
12. God, I was like, what are we doing?
He got bang stabbed all over the place and he still survived. Anyway, I love Scream 1, the OG. I love it. Scream 2. I also like Scream 2. Scream 2 is so good. And I am Sid won't be surprised about this. I am a Scream 3 apologist.
I like Scream 3 because that's actually the first Scream that I ever watched. But I will say, I think
you watched Scream 3 before 1.
Yeah, we're black.
That
We're
was
black.
the
You watch
first
these
one.
things
That
for
was the
anything.
first one that was on like Showtime and stuff that I saw. Like when I was a kid. When I was a kid, I saw that one first, and then I went back and saw the two previous ones. I did my whole rewatch of Scream at the end of last year, and I would say Scream 5 is number 2 for me. It's Scream 1, then Scream 5, then I'll probably go Scream 2, then it's between 6 and 3 are very close for me. 6 and 3. I sometimes I'll say 3 above 6, 6 above 3, but I think we can all agree like 3 and 4 are like the weaker of the Scream.
I don't think I've seen anything after 2. I gave it up.
That's hot.
Sorry.
Hot take.
That's when they had less sequels. Now it's hard to go back.
I love it. I love now we created a Scream chat. Everybody's talking about Scream. So we got Aubrey James who says 1, 2, and 3. Aubrey James
Get
says
the fuck
Scream
out of
6.
here. 1, 2, and get the fuck out of here. And then he said Scream 3 is the best. Get out. I know he's trolling, but goddamn,
it has its own charm.
Don't troll with this shit. Don't do this.
Story,
don't do
part
this.
about
Don't
the
do this.
industry, exposing the industry, how they treated women.
Nah.
Now, like, because now we know what
Roman is the worst Ghostface for me. I'm sorry. Like that, I like 3, but Roman is the worst because it just feels so forced. It wasn't really set up well. I think that
was cheesy.
Mickey is the most underrated Ghostface, but the best Ghostface for sure is Billy. It's Billy. It's Billy or Stu. Stu, if you love ridiculousness, it's Stu. But really, it's Billy. It's Billy Lewis.
Roman's not the worst because he's the catalyst. He's kind of like saying, "I put food on this table," so that's why he gets my vote, and he did it by himself. Somehow he found an Uber to get to places and kill people all by himself. Even though if you guys are Scream heads, you know there was originally meant to be a second killer. The actress who played Sydney, she was meant to be she was meant to be the second killer, but they didn't go through with it. So Roman, he did, he had the most kill counts. So I appreciate him, And yes, it does seem a bit weak, but I appreciate he's the catalyst. He's like, I told Billy his mom's a hoe. That's my mom. I told her my mom's a hoe, go kill her, maybe. I'm just suggesting the knife on the table, I'm leaving here, okay? And he did it. He killed his mom. So
yeah, I think Scream 1 for sure, the best.
Scream 1, and then also Scream 1 has like the best opening scene probably ever.
Yes, I agree with that as well.
I like 6's opening one. That was good as well. The 6
it was good.
Yeah, that was good.
Because that was a double fake. It was a double fake because that was great. That was that was a proper double fake, unlike that meta bullshit in 4.
On 4, exactly.
4's opening annoys me so much.
Yeah, scary movie level. It was ridiculous. Scary. It's never been that ridiculous. It's a scary movie. Is this the white version of Scary Movie? The one after 2?
The white version of Scary Movie.
I think with 4 too, because I remember I saw 4 in theaters. I think with 4 it was kind of like it was they kind of made up for part 3 in a little sense. And I think people were just happy that, oh shit, we're getting the series back on the big screen. I think that's more what it was. But it was, I do agree with that. The movie itself was very boring until like the big reveal. I thought the reveal they did very good at.
That and Kirby in the reveal is the only reason why you watch it, because Kirby is a good character. Jill is boring as heck. So you're like, was it milk and toast, whatever that word is, just very vanilla. And Anthony Anderson getting stabbed in the head. Okay, that's a choice. Using him as like a knife holder. All right, sure. Let's go with that.
Scream 2 needs more love because the Wade Martin did the smartest thing a black person could do in a Scream movie. He left.
Bingo. Yes, we survived as a result. Yes, guys, we can talk about this for ages, but I don't want this to be a 5-hour podcast. But one day, let's do a Patreon exclusive, because apparently there's Patreon people. We did an exclusive and talk about Scream because me and Sid, we've got a mutual love for Scream and trashy reality shows sometimes.
Yes, we got to do that. That's a great idea. PW Insider reports that Drew McIntyre was banged up following his Hell in a Cell matchup with CM Punk at Bad Blood. McIntyre was legitimately busted open when hit by a metal toolbox by Punk in the match. He required 16 staples to repair the damage. According to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, only CM Punk was planned to bleed in the match, not McIntyre. It was noted that WWE officials were panicking backstage and at ringside because of the seriousness of the wound and because it wouldn't stop bleeding. At one point, there were talks of having the doctor try to stop it, but they decided not to because it was a Hell in a Cell matchup and they learned their lesson from WrestleMania 39. The blood was wiped away from McIntyre at one point, but that was it. Eventually, McIntyre made the call that he would continue and said that if he felt woozy, they would go right to the finish. He had no signs of a concussion and was very aware and in control at all times. Man, I give it up for Drew McIntyre. That might be the Drew McIntyre's best match of his career.
Yeah, that and the triple threat match. I dropped my phone. And that and the triple threat match with Gunther and Sheamus. Those would be like 1 and 2 in terms of his career. I feel it's weird. Drew McIntyre was a made man when he won the WWE title, but the pandemic kind of hampered that for him. This year, he was given the opportunity to feud with CM Punk. At points, out-mic'd him on the microphone, showed great intensity, great sense of humor, like the Drew McIntyre you see on Twitter or in real life was able finally to be parlayed into the real life storyline. He's done a lot for him in terms of his stock in the company, because at one point, he was seen as his one-note babyface that was always complaining and crying and never saw things through. There's some points where he did seem like that same thing as a heel, but when you're a heel, you're more forgiven. But I feel like it's done a lot for Drew McIntyre. It's increased his stock. He got a world title out of it for like a few minutes. So, you know, I'm happy for him. So I hope that next year, whatever year we have, he finally gets a proper run as a dominant heel champion. I know with Gunther on the same show, he has to run to SmackDown, but there's like a plethora of people like Kevin Owens needs to be world champion. Roman being champion for 4 years fucked a lot of things up. You need to be world champion. You need to be world champion. Just give me time. I get to you. That's why Finn's not getting aged out.
Everyone like 3 months each, and they're good to go.
Yo, why is Paul Levesque doing a slow burn for A-Town Down Under? That should have been wrapped up a long time ago. I mean, for Axiom, I get it because that's NXT, the tag champions. But A-Town Down Under, come on, break them up already. Like, come on, Austin.
No, but they're stupid and funny together. That's why.
They don't need to break up because they're not that good.
They're not going to do anything together. They're not going to do anything once they're separated. They're going to bury them regardless. So if you keep them together, let them do stupid things. Let them be.
Sorry, Krssi. Sid, the kids from 2.0, I call them kids. They're our kids. They're minus Sid's kids. We saw them blossom and grow up. All right? If you watch the main roster, you think Grayson Waller's a bum. But if you watch NXT, he was a killer. That guy turned on his own bodyguard and beat him in 3 minutes. Sanga. Yeah. He rarely lost. He was actually pushed as a threat. Carmelo Hayes, better because he became champion because Waller didn't strike. But Waller was not pinned. I don't remember Waller's back being pinned in NXT that much. Rarely. And he had a few LA Knight and beat him all that time. And Tiffany was there for a few seconds for a cameo. I don't know why. But that's when Tiffany went for a phase where you wouldn't see her face like she's SZA or something like that. Or her. Or whatever.
You know
her.
Oh my God.
Her. When her came out, you didn't see her face.
I can't. Oh my God.
But yeah, what I'm trying to say is, Triple H is not booking the 2.0 people well unless you're Bron Breakker. But Grayson Waller can be a threat. It's just that in his mind, Triple H is like, you're a loudmouth, you're a bit blonde, you're Miz. No, not everyone has to be the Miz.
They're making them like Miz 2.0.
Yes, and he's
for
better than that.
For the kids' generation. It's not our generation. Because
you know what I'm saying? So sorry, Chris. What I'm trying to say is,
at least the Miz got booked and was champion several times, though.
Yeah, what I'm trying to say is Austin Theory sucks. You know, he's decent in the ring because he capes from, he takes AR Fox's moveset. Congratulations. But everything else, he sucks on the microphone because he's not believable. Until he can talk like a regular human being, not scripted, I'm not getting on board with the guy. I don't think I ever will. The guy faced John Cena is between Solo Sikoa recovered. This guy's still not recovering. This guy sucks. Him as a babyface, he's going to be vanilla. He'll be like Jack Swagger when he's trying to be a babyface. He's going to suck so bad. Just release his ass.
Wow. Okay,
I want people to keep jobs. Like,
right, I want to say, I'm not gonna say that now, friend. Like,
sorry, keep him heel, but make him a comedy heel. The only time he was palatable was when they were punishing him for certain behavior. Because let's keep it real, he went back to NXT because of certain things. All right, apparently talking to certain people he should be talking to. Because one moment he's in a crew with Andrade and Garza, and the next minute he's NXT treated like a dumbass who could barely spell his own name. And using
remember, he was in a group with Seth Rollins and Buddy Matthews before he got sent back to NXT.
Exactly. Austin Theory. Austin Theory got punished for certain things.
Right.
Yeah,
I
Velveteen
forgot all
Dream
about
couldn't
it.
escape it, but Austin, I'm sorry, allegedly Austin got away with certain things. Him and Josh
Allegedly.
Briggs are,
No,
you know,
no,
when you're not black, when you're black, when you're
No,
black,
What did he do?
yes.
Okay, what
no,
happened?
You don't provide it.
yeah. I know what you're talking about. He was actually cleared from that.
When they okay, that's a Patreon exclusive conversation for another time.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Sid. The way we went for a Scream detour, now we go for Austin Theory detour. Let's go back to you, sir. Let's
The
go.
haven't even
Austin
touched
Theory
AEW
rabbit
yet.
hole. As previously mentioned, Rhea Ripley defeated Liv Morgan at Bad Blood via disqualification. Ripley won because Raquel Rodriguez attacked her. According to Fightful Shaw Rossap, this was not the original plan for the finish. He wrote Liv Morgan was favored to win tonight at WWE Bad Blood, but because the finish got changed on the spot, if you bet on Rhea Ripley, you earn some coin. So I mean, this is something that if you were
right.
watching, you saw it was a botch.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
They tried to do the Shawn Michaels Owen Hart and Triple H thing where Liv and Rhea haven't got a definitive end to the feud, but here's Raquel for a bit, feud with her for a bit while Liv is feuding with
her.
while Liv is feuding with no woman because they haven't built up any woman on Raw.
Unfortunately, I said it on our Bad Blood review. I will say it here. I think that Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley may have peaked in at SummerSlam, what they will give us in the ring. Like that was their best match, and I don't know if any other matches after that will be as good as that one.
Because we keep seeing the same shit. That's why.
Yeah, I literally said that to Stat King yesterday. I was like, he's like, oh, I watched WWE for CM Punk and the Liv and Rhea stuff. I was like, so you've basically been seeing the same segment from Liv and Rhea for like 3 months.
Yeah, and it's kind of like, I don't know, like at first I know people were like kind of like, I would say overrating it, and then at this point it's kind of like they're not doing anything that's new. It's the same thing. And I kind of knew that it was gonna happen just because, like, you know, has nothing to do with both ladies. It's just the direction that it's going. It's just like yeah, and it's just like it's not really doing anything. You know what I mean? Like, you know how there's like an end goal. Like, what's the end goal to all of this? Like,
well,
you know what I mean?
If I can tag in, Josh, you asked a great question. The end goal was Liv was gonna take everything away from Rhea, which she did. That should have been the end of it.
And she already did.
Yeah. The issue with the feud is on paper, it had all the ingredients to be a generational feud. It sounds like I'm hyperbolic exaggerating because these two women, their feud got all the way when they were tag team. So there's like all this inbuilt storyline history they're not even touching on. They're not even touching on it. The fact that Rhea joined Judgment Day because she turned on Liv first, like that's like the trajectory of the whole thing.
They're not even going back to like tell why.
Yes,
like to go back and like tell the original thing of like what made you join the Judgment Day. And my revenge tours didn't start. It started because you broke my arm. Sure, great.
Yeah.
But let's talk about why I really want my revenge on you.
Yes.
You left me when we were partners.
Yes.
Yeah.
You wanted to be in this makeshift group that now I'm a part of, that I am in charge of.
And they could have made this look like a long-term story if they would have said Liv and Finn always had this plan because they were the first enemies of the Judgment Day.
Bingo.
Like Finn convinced Damian and Rhea to turn on their leader, Edge, who brought them into the Judgment Day.
Bingo.
And he took over the group from the inside out, and then he brought in the people that he wanted to bring in. That could have been the whole story where it would have tightened up everything, but they just got so happy over the first couple of weeks after SummerSlam where they were doing Attitude Era let's jump the babyface, and then the other babyface comes out and makes the save, and the crowd was eating it up and going wild. But they've been doing that same shit for 2 months now.
Yeah.
No, and you know, and I've been saying it, right, and I've been saying it. I was just like, now, like the feud itself has been very one-sided, and it's like, do I really need this at this point?
At all.
It's like, do I really need it at this point? Like you know,
Josh keeps saying, my man is a bum, and he's a bum, and it just makes them look like they're not. There's no point of them having this feud. You turn on these people, and yet y'all still are losing. Like, yeah, both
Pretty
lost
much.
both of your matches.
And it's not a coincidence. Raw went to 2 hours, and we had 0 Judgment Day segments. So
Yeah,
We
we'll
basically
get-
had one. Yeah, we had one for like less than like what 5 minutes, and then they left.
it was you had 2 pre-tapes. It was 2 pre-tapes from the Judgment Day angle. So that says a lot. But
The 2
let's
hours,
go.
it made it suffer, I feel like.
Dude, I put my headline for Raw review was this show probably was better at 3 hours because this roster is a 3-hour show roster, not a 2-hour show roster. But
It's 2 hours till January.
yeah, we'll get into that when we get to Raw, but let's talk about SmackDown last night. First, the show featured Roman Reigns and Jimmy Uso kicking off the show with Roman saying that he doesn't like their position right now before Jimmy said they need help against the new bloodline. But when the fans started chanting yeet, 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 Roman said no yeet. Jimmy then said he is the only one in the family who acknowledges Roman now before leaving him in the ring to ponder. Later in the show, that led into Solo Sikoa defeating Jimmy Uso and his return to in-ring action for the first time since WrestleMania. Post-match, the bloodline jumped Jimmy until Roman made the save. However, the numbers got the better of Reigns and Uso as the bloodline stood tall. You had Jimmy then telling Roman as the show closed, they need help again, Us. You also had on the show LA Knight beat Carmelo Hayes in a rock-solid matchup to retain the United States Championship with Andrade at ringside. Post-match, Andrade got into Melo's face, telling him to put the fries in the bag, as Melo told him before, and this led to Nick Aldis announcing it will be Game 7 between Andrade and Melo next week. Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill defeated Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson to retain the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships in a blink and you miss it match. Naomi confronted WWE Women's Champion Nia Jax and then went on to defeat Nia in one-on-one action thanks to an unlikely assist from Women's World Champion Liv Morgan ahead of her matchup with Nia at Crown Jewel. Post-match, Rhea Ripley made a surprise appearance to get some revenge on Liv and Raquel Rodriguez, but in the process, booted down the WWE Women's Champion Jax. And then you also had Kevin Owens, who made an unexpected appearance, trying to explain his heel turn on Cody Rhodes, saying that Cody actually turned on him. This led to Cody coming out before officials and security got in between both men. Randy Orton came out to try to be the voice of reason between his two friends, but KO elbowed Orton in the process, who responded with a punch, leading to KO going through the crowd. Later in the show, you had Orton telling Cody to leave so he could talk it out with Owens, but that talk ended badly for Orton as KO attacked him for picking a side between him and Cody. I thought that the Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens follow-up was the best part of this show. Really, really good stuff there, as it finally feels like Cody's in a top storyline that doesn't include the bloodline. So I'm happy about that. Krssi, what did you think of SmackDown last night?
Everything was great until they gave the women a 2-minute match. Like, literally, you blink and it was gone. Like, I literally left and I was like, wait, it's over. Like, I literally went to my kitchen to go get something. I'm not even lying to you. Like, I left and I came back and it was on a commercial and then they went to something else. I was like, son, he was, oh yeah, the match is finished. I was like, wait, what? Like, I really literally missed the match. And the girls, you didn't even give Lash and them a chance though. Their entrance got broken up by Kevin Owens. Like, you never gave these girls at all any chance. Oh, but Triple H loves black people, all right? Okay, got it.
He doesn't see color. He doesn't see color.
He see talent.
Yeah. When he black-faced, he saw color then. Apparently, The Rock has color because he muddied up his face, didn't he? But all I want to say is, to ape off what Krssi was saying, yeah, you got Lash Legend on there, and you got Jade Cargill on there, and you didn't really give me what I wanted. That's why I got excited. I was like, the Meta Girls, you got Jade and Lash Legend.
You never let the girls even cook. Like,
yeah, that part hurt me. I mean, like Jade and Lash was my personal like dream situation for this opportunity, and we never got there. You know, because Lash is taller than Jade, so I just wanted to see that two kaiju, these female kaijus just smacking their heck out of each other, and you're like, black ladies, yeah, black ladies, yeah, tall and sexy, yeah, smack each other, yeah. I mean, never got that. Nah.
I don't even think they really had an encounter with each other, to be honest. I think more so it was Lash and Bianca, and then Jade
Jackson,
and
Takara.
Yeah. Like they really the disservice.
I don't even know if they had any interaction because I blinked and I missed it.
Yeah,
see, that's I don't even know because I missed more.
Bingo. I had a whole argument. I had a whole argument with a guy about he said he thought that I don't see color thing as a thing. I said, you dickhead, you're bragging about your 5'8" degrees you have, but you're still a dumbass. Like, how you have all these degrees and
the fact that Paul Levesque actually sat at the conference and said that shit, I was like, okay, let me turn this off now. This is where I exit, because
I do want to say, yeah, I've been joking, saying, Triple H hates black people. That's me bantering to a degree. I do feel like circumstances has led to what he has, and he's been lazy about replenishing black people because apparently he doesn't see Colin that respect. Because he was going to feud with Gable Steveson before the whole Hart situation. That was a thing. He was high on Gable Steveson, so maybe he didn't see his color. He saw the gold medals and Paul Heyman jacking him off and Brock Lesnar posing with him. So he thought, I'm going to get in with them by facing this guy. And Stephanie getting excited about this guy, so I'm going to get in on this hype as well. So he was going to fight him before the whole Hart situation. And people keep mentioning Keith Lee and whatever. That's 4 years ago. You know how embarrassing it is when you're mentioning an accomplishment from 4 years ago? Show me a recent accomplishment you've done. Obafemi is a Shawn Michaels thing. Do not bring up NXT. Yeah. You're not Shawn Michaels. These are Shawn Michaels' accomplishments.
I've seen people trying to give Triple H credit for Bobby Lashley being WWE champion. I'm like, he wasn't even in charge.
The sex offender gave the title. Yeah.
What are you talking about?
The sex offender gave Biggie the title. He gave Kofi the title. He gave Lashley the title. How he booked them were questionable. That part we agree. But when it comes to
he did at least made them champions.
Bro, exactly. You got Carmelo on SmackDown. People forgetting Carmelo, did he lose in his first match on SmackDown or something like that?
Yes.
Yes, exactly. And Giovanni Vinci, my goodness sake, look who you're booking, my guy. I gave you, you know when people say wait and see. I'm fucking waiting and seeing.
No,
you ruined my guy.
I don't need you to wait. I don't need to wait. You know why? Because I know it's gonna be dog shit.
And I don't believe he made a pass at Tiffany. Have you seen the hot brunette that he had doing the Hall of Fame and he's posting on Instagram? I don't believe that's the reason. That's stupid. Yeah, he cracked on Tiffany. Yeah, and he put them on the same show.
Exactly. With Luwick on the other show. So, hey, well, I don't know. I don't get it, but I did enjoy SmackDown.
The Kelsey Green thing is just stupid now. I'm just sorry. Like, I'm over it. Let her just keep doing what she was doing before. Stop.
Oh, that stink. She stinks gimmick. I mean, yeah, it is very much. I agree with Mr. Bonda. It's very much the Natalia farts angle, basically.
Like after we did it at the PLE last week, okay, it's over now. Like she done took shot. Like come on, she don't have that. Like she don't still smell like garbage now. Come on, let's just. Now we want to just make fun of Trusty Green, make her seem like she was like. Pipe, you don't smell her? You didn't tell your homegirl like she smelled like shit before she left the house? Like, come on.
Apparently not. But there was a big news update on SmackDown last night. And before SmackDown, a new report had a spoiler on when the Motor City Machine Guns will likely make their WWE TV debuts. The team's debut was teased last week in a promo on SmackDown, and Fightful Select reports that it appears at least the plan is for them to arrive later this month. According to the report before SmackDown, the eternal word at WWE is that travel plans were set for the two for the October 25th episode of SmackDown at Barclays Center in Brooklyn. It was essential to note that the key word here was travel, and there was always the possibility that they are not used on that show or could arrive sooner. And as always, plans are subject to change. There is no confirmation yet as to whether they will keep their tag team name. The report also notes that despite rumors to the contrary, any potential delay in the Lucha Bros signing with WWE had nothing to do with the company's plans for the Guns. The Motor City Machine Guns, though, are now officially set to debut on next week's WWE SmackDown, as we had a new vignette that aired. The vignette saw a person playing a guitar, playing some drums, scenery shots of Detroit, and the vignette aired on Friday's episode and ended with a message that said next week. We also saw in spray painted letters, this one right here, MCMG, which of course means the Motor City Machine Guns. The Machine Guns are were set for travel on the October 25th episode. So unless there is a twist, they'll be appearing a week earlier than that. SmackDown GM Nick Aldis also announced a hand-selected team will face the Los Garza next week on SmackDown, which seems to be Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley. Josh, what do you think about the Motor City Machine Guns debuting on SmackDown next week? And what have you thought about the vignettes leading up to it? I think it was a good idea and probably totally different from how AEW would have debuted the Motor City Machine Guns, because we all know AEW would have just thrown them out there.
Yeah. I mean the vignette's been fine. It kind of just gives that old feel again of somebody coming back. Because we really weren't getting that for a while. I still don't believe that report that this was always part of the plan. I think that's bullshit. Especially after hearing more of the notes from the dude from Wrestle Purist, hearing him give a little bit more details. Him confirming that Lucha Bros were basically slated for SmackDown. So that tells me all I need to know about this. I'm fine with them going to the main roster. That's what it should have been to begin with. Now they're saying like this is part of the plan. Sure, I'll let them believe that for now. But it's fine. Like the vignette's been fine. They're gonna finally be on the main roster. This is what some people been wanting to see for a long time. And then all the acts for fans who've been, who've been hype about this, support these guys, right? This is what you guys wanted. This is what you guys were hyping it about to be, right? And then all these fans that never knew them, never heard of them, but then all of a sudden they become fans. Hey, I want you to keep that same energy when they're on TV. Talk about them, right? Brag about them. I want to see that. So, I look forward to seeing them next week.
I'm looking forward to it. And I think it's the right place for them on SmackDown, because SmackDown has more of the teams I want to see them against. I want to see them against
they have
the
more
Street
tag
Profits.
teams on there that want to, that do tag team stuff.
And I think I would say they are the team that's going to beat the Bloodline for the WWE tag team titles.
It's them, right? It's gonna be them.
Yeah, it has to be them.
Oh, I want to say my 2 cents. Number one, my family came back. That's what happened. I heard kids coming in. I was like, shit.
Listen, we have kids pop in here all the time. It's okay. It's nothing new, friend.
No, it's my daughter's cousins. They're very loud, so they don't understand that. The mom is Polish, so all they know is about 11 decibels in terms of interaction and speaking.
You don't want to blow out your mic.
Yo, you'd have heard a whole thing. You'd be like, was this Neverland? All these kids are all just running. Where did they come from? We hided them.
Neverland?
Yeah, where did the kids come from?
Yo, oh my God.
They took the toaster into the living room. They took stuff because they know I'm in here. And I told my partner, this is what you get for putting me in the kitchen. SB will tell you, I had a whole room to myself. I had to vacate because my daughter was being born. Now my daughter's 2 and it's her room. Good for her. But yeah, I'm in the kitchen.
This is good for her. I'm in my son's room. I'm in my son's room. I kicked him out all the time, so it's okay.
I should do the same thing, but I got a whole setup. I don't do remote setup, but yeah, just to go back on Motor City Machine Guns. SB, I missed most of the stuff. Is it true that it was meant to be Lucha Bros in this position? Is this true?
Fightful is saying that's not what it is, but It does. I do agree with Josh. It does feel like this was supposed to be Lucha Bros spot in the mission. If the Lucha Bros had signed with WWE, I doubt that both of them would be going to SmackDown. That's for sure.
Yeah, I assumed that Motor City would debut on CW. That was the, alleged plan that we were thinking. No one told me that that's the thing, but it's like you've got Julia's first match. Yeah, Cora Jade was not the only return, right? It's meant to be a big thing. You got Motor City Machine Guns in Chicago, because Chicago is a wrestling city. They know who they are, blah, blah, blah. But I'm happy. This is what you call happy accidents. Kind of like Josh's guy behind him, Stone Cold Steve Austin. A happy accident made him win King of the Ring. A happy accident allegedly has put Motor City Machine Guns in position to be in the strongest tag team division, which is SmackDown. They just don't get put on pay-per-views, unfortunately. But yeah, Street Profits and Motor City Machine Guns, Motor City Machine Guns against DIY, Motor City Machine Guns against Pretty Deadly, who are underutilized. I was hoping Pretty Deadly would be part of Nia's entourage. That was working for me, but now that's not a thing anymore, idiots. Paul Levesque.
Yeah, Nia thing, like,
I don't understand. Paul Levesque, yeah, put yourself on the credit. I want to know who to blame. You and Lee Fitting, whatever the guy's name in. I'll blame both of your ass. Do better with Pretty Deadly. Yes, boy. Do you really think this is cool?
Paul Levesque is a five match merchant. That's the issue.
5 match merchant and a 40 and 65 minute bloody hour limit merchant. The guy gives you the worst long. You ain't Harley Race. Okay.
The more he talks now, the more he talks is like the more lies I feel like are coming out of his mouth.
He's always lied. He always lied. He lied to Vince. He's
always been a liar.
He lied to Vince in 2004. Let Rock go. We don't need him. You have me. Yeah, we have you to tank the whole era around you sucked. You sucked the life out of everything from 2002 onwards. You're only good for 1 year of your life, and you aped people's charisma when you're in each of the group. You're the least likable member. You're even good about your crouch chops. They were so inner. I was into it. But besides that, you won the match against The Rock at fucking SummerSlam 98, and you still went over. The guy won the title 2 months later. How the fuck that?
Yep, Rock got more over than him. We got more news in regards to Rhea Ripley, who appeared on SmackDown. A new report had an update on her contract status. Apparently, PW Insider on Thursday, they reported that Rhea is close to signing a deal that will keep her with the company for the foreseeable future. According to the report, Ripley and WWE have agreed to terms on a long-term deal, and it's just a matter of time before the contract is signed. The report states that the contract would appear to be for 5 years and would include a considerable increase in pay. On Friday, PW Insider Elite reports that Rhea Ripley is said to be close to signing a new long-term deal with WWE. The two sides are reportedly close to an agreement, and all that's left is to be signed, and it's just a matter of time. The deal will keep her for 5 more years and give her a considerable financial increase. Let's get Rhea in the $1 million club. There's only I think 11 or 12 people in the $1 million club in WWE.
Really?
Which is a gross underpaid WWE wrestlers. I had to do my research for a Sports Illustrated article. Like, the highest paid still is Brock Lesnar in WWE.
What? I know you fucking lying.
Yes.
He don't even work.
He's still the highest paid. He's still the highest paid. Roman is number 2, so active, he would be number 1. Cody's not even top 2 as far as pay. He's like right in the same range as AJ Styles and Seth Rollins.
Damn. You left a whole company that you helped build for bullshit.
Well, to be fair, he wasn't the highest paid in AEW either. So.
No, but I'm just saying though, like, at least you had like more pull there.
But it is gross that Chris Jericho is the highest paid AEW wrestler. So
that's a known fact for sure, and it's in his contract. He keeps telling that to all of us, and we know that for sure.
Chris, maybe when AEW started, but AEW does not need. He needs a. The thing is, about Christopher Irvine from the suburbs of Manitoba. Just retire and be part of a creative team. He's a creative guy.
I think he should really develop. I think he's good at developing people. I think he's really good at seeing like characters. I think he can probably be he can speak as like the broadcasters, but I think it's time for him to really like hang it up at this point. You've done everything. I don't think you need to do anything more. And it's okay that you don't have to give this up. But you're not giving Danielson matches. You're not doing these type of things anymore. You're not that person anymore. And it's okay.
He sucks at announcing because he uses his singing voice for announcing. You don't go on an octave when you're talking. The guy, he should use his podcast voice. Even his podcast voice sounds like he's slurring his language. But he should be in creative, be a manager. Me and Sid actually talked about this when we met up. He was never the best wrestler. He was around great wrestlers.
Yes.
So you assumed he was a great wrestler because he did the Super J Cup and he did the matches with Benoit and Perry Saturn and all that kind of stuff. So you in your head, you're like, yeah, he's a great wrestler. Yeah, he had a great last man standing match with Triple H, in 2000, whatever. And he had a good match with The Rock and RVD. But the true ring generalship is you can lead a lesser wrestler to a good match, and he can never do that. So he's been a good dance partner in other areas, great match with Shawn Michaels, blah, blah. It's just he's always been awkward, always been clunky. Now that he's older, it just, he's now slower. His last great match was a year ago in All In. So is he washed?
Yep.
Possibly.
Yeah. I would say so. I would say so after this 2024 run.
Wear straps. Your tits look sad. Wear straps. Wear something.
AJ Styles seemingly
That
suffered an
strap.
injury
Oh my God.
on last Friday's episode of WWE SmackDown. Although it was reported that it was an angle and he was said to be fine, WWE later stated that Styles suffered a mid-foot ligament sprain. Dave Meltzer on Figure 4 Online has a conflicting report and stated that Styles' injury is legitimate. He noted that Styles will have an MRI to determine the extent of the damage. Sean Ross Sapp later noted that he was told that the flip where he sold the knee was to be a work. The move where he landed on the knee was legit. He then added that Styles is now believed to be legitimately injured, which is just sad. This nigga just came back. Y'all had him on the sidelines for no reason. Now he's injured?
You don't want none.
Don't want no injuries. Hopefully AJ is going to be all right. But finally, before we get into Monday Night Raw this week, the Wrestling Observer newsletter reports that the feeling going around Peacock is that WWE will be moving their content to Netflix in early 2026. That is the company's streaming deal with Peacock will expire, and WWE already has Raw on Netflix starting this January. However, it was noted that this is not a done deal, as WWE will be looking to get the best offer when the time comes. I think I've been saying this for months, Josh, since the Netflix deal was announced, that I was like, WWE will probably be WrestleMania in 2026 will probably be the first WrestleMania on Netflix worldwide.
Which one? 46?
No, in 2026.
Oh, 2026. Oh, in 2 years?
Yep.
Oh, friend.
Because their deal with Peacock expires then. So I think they're gonna put all their stuff on Netflix.
Oh shit. So now, well, we already still pay for Netflix. So I mean, hey.
Not a big change.
You're not a big, still streaming platforms we still pay for. So it's like whatever.
Exactly. Like Max.
Right.
WWE Raw this week, they did 1.545 million viewers. The show featured CM Punk kicking off the show, cutting a promo, thanking the fans for their support during the brutal Hell in a Cell matchup, and said he didn't know when he would be back after injury suffered against Drew McIntyre. This led to a brief stare down with Seth Rollins, who cut a promo calling out Bronson Reed for a singles match after taking him out in August. Jey Uso beat Xavier Woods to retain the Intercontinental Championship. Post-match, Woods refused to shake hands with Jey Uso before Braun Breaker came out to spear Jey, Woods, and Kofi Kingston before standing tall with the Intercontinental Championship. So that apparent babyface turn was not meant to be, I guess. It was a fake, a soft babyface turn, and they just turned him back heel, apparently, after like a week. Sheamus defeated Pete Dunne in a banger of a Donnybrook matchup. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, you had once again, Krssi Luv is not going to be happy because the women got snubbed on this episode of Raw. Lyra Valkyria, Natalya, Zelina Vega, and the Party Girls beat Pure Fusion Collective and Unholy Union in a 10-woman tag that we only saw about 3 minutes of. And Gunther defeated Sami Zayn in an excellent main event. to retain the World Heavyweight Championship. Post-match, Gunther stared down with his crown jewel opponent and undisputed WWE champion, Cody Rhodes. I felt like this week's Raw felt very, very rushed. Like they weren't expecting to be 2 hours, despite telling us a month ago it was going to be 2 hours.
I forgot all about it until you guys said it in the chat. I was like 2 hours, but then I was like, well, what am I supposed to do from 10 to 11?
We got free time.
I see, but I didn't like it. I still would like have the background noise there, and then I could like spend my time, looking at social media, looking online, doing other things while it's just there, on.
I just felt like, but you know what it is too. I think people were trying to use the whole like, oh, you see, you guys wanted the 2 hours and y'all still complaining. It was like, no, it was a bad show because it just felt like they were underprepared. And I'm just like, usually when WWE, they usually prepare for these things. And it just felt like they're like, oh shit, I forgot we only are 2 hours today. And they remembered like 2 hours before the show started. And I know they did a pre-taping too after that. So, I don't know if Monday's gonna be that much better.
Yeah, usually pre-recorded episodes of Raw are never that good.
Yeah, so it's like I don't know if it's gonna be that much better. I mean, they might find ways to edit it to make it look better paced, because I think that was the problem too. Not only that, it felt like it was rushed. The pacing of it was a little weird too, because by the time the event happened, I was like, oh, that's what we got for Raw today. All right, cool. That's okay, sure. And then, for them to rely on the Judgment Day stuff for so much, you kind of saw that hurt the show too, because people were expecting something from them or some kind of like segment. We didn't get none of that, and I think that was part of it too. It's kind of like could have used it to do something else, and instead of like having Judgment Day off the TV, which I think is not a bad thing, but it's like you need to, I mean, as in like, we don't constantly need to see them. Sometimes you could keep them off TV for a week and then come back. Like that's never a problem. But when you do something like that, you kind of saw like that actually hurt the show instead of like helping it.
Because they've been over relying on them so long, so
yeah,
you can keep them off the show.
Yeah, you see it. Yeah,
doesn't really feel the same.
Yeah, and I think that was the problem. Like, and then when we did see them, it was nothing. They got out of the car, got back in the car, and they left. Like that's what we got.
They did a U-turn in that parking lot. That was funny. It was like, let me just stop, talk. Let's leave now.
I think Raquel looks like she doesn't even know what her role is supposed to be.
It wouldn't surprise me.
I accept this more than Raquel Rodriguez, nice girl who has a big back. I prefer.
No. I want her in this role, but I feel like she's not prepared. I think they told her about this role on Thursday, and she had to show up on Saturday.
Hey, to be fair, I didn't get much out of the 1 minute that we saw of her, so I can't really judge. on her.
Okay, fine.
Yeah,
we'll see. Someone said it. She's muscle, but they're still running away from Rhea Ripley. Okay. My thing is they need to fix a lot of segments, how they shape or frame segments. I've liked SmackDown because it's like they got a cool cast of people, especially with the women. You know who you're gonna see every single week because they got A and B storylines really well. At the moment, it seems like they heard about the complaints of the women's division and like, oh, for fuck's sake, here's all the mid-card women feuding with each other, 10-man tag, whatever. And it's like, okay, they did do things where week by week, Pure Fusion, Collective Water, Energy Bill, they all attack people week by week. And then after that, Natalya came back to even the odds, blah, blah, blah. But they need to blow off. Them having constant matches is not the one. When Natalya came out in Calgary, that should have been when they ended it. They need to move on. I liked it when Lyra was getting a decent push because I said Lyra was in the Liv Morgan babyface position of the underdog babyface where, you rooting for her to win. She was doing well. Even though people say, oh, Becky's buddy. I'd rather her be Becky's buddy than what we're getting right now.
She has no personality now without Becky.
Bingo. Thank you, Becky. It's better than...
She's a charisma vacuum. That's the problem.
It's true. She's got great presentation. The woo was getting over. Dun dun dun. Woo. We're not getting that anymore because we're getting mixed tag music, which is one person music.
Mixed tag music.
Yeah, but they need to do. She's really talented in the ring, but besides, she's a charisma vacuum. But you tend to see people who's got lack of charisma, baby face, they might thrive as a heel. So she may be a great heel one day because her Twitter fingers were severe. If you look at her old tweets, she's got charisma in how she tweets before WWE got a hold of her and she had to go professional. So I think she'd be a better heel. But right now, she's a good babyface wrestler. That's what's carrying her. She's not a great personality because they haven't fleshed it out. I said she's a bird girl. Okay. I want to know more about this bird girl. It's kind of like the Ember Moon effect. You look cool. You got cool music, but you're just a regular chick in costume.
They ruined Ember Moon when she feuded with Asuka, so I'll stand by that because Athena has all the personality in the world. Ember Moon did not.
I feel like her on SmackDown when she had that thing with Bayley. This is before Bayley turned heel. Her and Bayley had this awkward friendship thing, kind of like what they're trying to do with Naomi and Bayley, kind of, but they real life friends. It kind of thrives better. But yeah, SmackDown ruined Ember for me. Like, yeah, she won the title after Asuka win, never made sense, whatever. But I was an Asuka stan, so I was like, yeah, no one beats her, yay.
I mean, too. I was the Asuka stan at that point. I
was
feel
a
like
like that,
the whole feud with Asuka. I've been on this show for 6 years now, saying the same thing. The whole feud with Asuka when Asuka beat her the first time, and then they did the vignette promos of her crying, like, I can't believe Asuka cheated. I was like, how is this supposed to be like this mystique, freaking woman, but she's crying because Asuka cheated? Like, no, y'all ruined her character.
Yeah. But what I was trying to say is SmackDown doing a great job because I liked when we got Michin versus Chelsea. That feud was built off the back of her Michin being hazed about the trash can thing of her match against Nia Jax. So the way they segue that into a beef feud was chef's kiss. Raw, they need to do the same thing. They need to give the women more. That's the reason why right now there's no one ready for Liv Morgan. You can chuck Lara in there because people still remember King of the Ring. That's still in their head. But besides that, all the other women, it's they need to do better with women. With the men's, I'm tired of Judgment Day. Edge is gone, he's gone somewhere. Just get rid of the group. Give Alter Bridge back there. Get your deposit back. Whatever. Get rid of the group. It served its purpose. Carlito's the only reason why I still enjoy the group. To be honest, I'm like, it gives Carlito a weekly appearance. He says something funny. He's in the ring for 2 minutes. He doesn't have to do much. He's really jacked, but he wears a t-shirt, so whatever. And yeah.
What are we doing?
And man. Braun, what happened to Braun? Can we talk about Braun for a second?
He's
Carlito.
Huh?
You talking about Braun Strowman or Braun
Strowman?
He got hurt during the last dumb match that the guys had.
Okay.
Last month.
What I want to say is he went from being jacked and bold to looking like he's regressing back to his old look. They even used his old picture for a render against Braun. I was like, that's when he had a ponytail. Don't pretend. And because I think him and Raquel apparently broke up in real life. Did he just give up? Like, I don't need to be that jacked anymore. Apparently,
no, they're married.
Feels like that. They're married.
They're broken up.
They're married.
I've got rumor has it they're broken up like time ago.
Maybe.
I could be wrong.
I could be wrong. I know they did get married. Like they did get married. Exactly. Like
well, they got
they're engaged. They're engaged. I knew they were engaged.
I never heard they got married. I know they.
Yeah, I heard they were engaged, but they.
No, I think they did get married because I know there was like a ceremony. There was like a small ceremony. It wasn't like a big wedding. It was like a small ceremony. Maybe it was for somebody else and they went together. It could be that, but I know.
Yeah,
it could be that. I could be wrong.
I rumor has it they haven't been a thing for nearly 2 years, and it's kind of like goes with
that's kind of crazy.
Braun's like, no woman's telling me to shave my head again.
He's like,
he always gets injured.
But he looked better that way. He looked better.
But like ever since he's come back though, he's been he's been injured like 3 times already too. Ever since he's come back, he had the knee situation. And I know he had a setback on that, and then he comes back, and then unfortunately, it was a great match, like that match, like where he got hurt at again. But it's like, damn, like he can't catch a break.
Bronson Reed needs to beat Seth Rollins at least once. Let's start. You've done a great job. Don't do what the sex offender used to do. I'm heating this guy up, The babyface beats him, goes back down, so Paul, make him a comedy heel, comedy face. No, Bronson Reed, you know that investment of like this guy was gonna pop off in New Japan. He beat Okada, and then he went back to WWE to be Mrs. Heavy for 2 seconds. People were confused about it. Now you're paying off dividends of like, this is the Jonah that was going to kill things in New Japan. Let him, the tsunami's gotten over. You know, he's on the cusp. Don't ruin it, Triple H. Seth Rollins doesn't need it. You can say that his knee or his back or whatever, he's not 100%. Bronson needs that victory more. He needs it because he's not a proven commodity. You had him losing against Braun Strowman, which I don't mind, you know, great surprise or whatever, but he needs to be a made man, and they're so close. So close.
I agree. I said they should do 2 matches. Bronson wins the first one, and then Seth can win the blow off. Seth wins the final match because you want to keep him strong before you do him and Punk at Mania. As previously reported, Goldberg appeared at WWE Bad Blood and got into an altercation with World Heavyweight Champion Gunther. According to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, at this time, there are not any immediate plans for a match between Gunther and Goldberg. The match can't happen at Crown Jewel, where Goldberg used to get $2 million for matches because Gunther is already slotted to face Cody Rhodes. It also not scheduled for Survivor Series or WrestleMania. The card for the latter has not been made yet, although October is typically when the company begins to work on it. I've said it before. I think Gunther is probably going to face Cena at WrestleMania. Cena going for number 17 against him. What do you think about when should Gunther go one-on-one with Goldberg?
I don't want. Listen, Goldberg. He had the nice goodwill comeback, and you know we were happy to see him again. He kind of erased the bad taste of his match against Brock Lesnar, but since then, you know, beating the Fiend, concussing, Maggot Taker, like he's outstayed his welcome. Then he had the cheek to do that interview, and he's burying Triple H, burying the company. Yeah, I'm having fun burying Triple H, but he never gave me a world title. You know what I'm saying? He's never paid me money, so I can do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not beholden to the company because I'm just a fan. But you were pushed much better. You had a Twilight career that Bret Hart never got. Okay. Yeah. You know how many people would love to see a Twilight career for like Kurt Angle? Kurt Angle didn't get treated nicely. Kurt Angle was their champion, and he came back, and then poor guy had calluses in his neck, and because he hasn't wrestled like in a year, so his body regressed, unfortunately. But you had a better Twilight run than Kurt Angle. Deep that thought. The original WWE guy from developmental. You're just a WCW guy who they've beaten over and over again. So you've had a better run. Shut the fuck up. All right? Gunther, if you do face him, like you said, he's got 3 minutes. Powerbomb, chops, chop your son as well, and choke you out and send you back home. But I'm not interested in seeing Goldberg come back. He's done good stuff. Just end it. Just leave it.
But you got to do something that follows up on this angle. I think that they should do Royal Rumble, let them get a payday, Royal Rumble, Gunther and Goldberg, and Goldberg loses to Gunther.
I saw it with Drew McIntyre. That was Rumble, right? Like we don't need another Rumble.
That was a Royal Rumble match.
Yeah.
But that was in the Thunderdome, so that doesn't count.
That's even better. Great send off in front of nobody. Just I'm being cheeky. I was a huge Goldberg fan in WCW. Loved the guy. Loved him. Loved. Like loved him. Like loved the loved Goldberg. Loved it.
And then the bell rang.
No, you know what?
No, because we were kids. But the thing is that we were kids back then. Like when Goldberg was out, like we were kids, so we loved what we were seeing. And then when we got older, we're like, he wasn't very good. It's like watching those old 90s movies that we loved, but then like we love it for all the wrong reasons now. They're still bad, but we love it because it means something to us. Yeah.
Right. You know what? Yeah, there's a myth there. For those of us who grew up with Goldberg, he had more movesets. If you play SmackDown, Here Comes the Pain as well. He's had more movesets. I don't like people saying he had 2 or 3 moves. He had moves, okay? When he started off, he was horrible. Regal exposed him. 98, he was covered with the squash matches. I feel like 99, 2000, he was actually okay. He wasn't a great wrestler. I can't say he was terrible. He was okay. His sellings, whatever, you know. I'm used to big guys being clunky and being confused at certain points, but he was an okay wrestler. And in WWE, he had moves. He did that thing, you know, gorilla press into a spine buster. His spears were a killer. I don't care. Now people are trying to whitewash his spears not great. People saying Braun Breaker's got the best spear. Braun Breaker does shoulder tackles to the chest. So I don't know why people conflating it. At least Edge of flying hug. Edge goes.
Yeah, and I mean Braun's. Yeah, and then Braun's spears is more about speed. Yeah, I think Braun is. I think his spears look like they look presentable because of his speed. Bingo. I think his speed is impressive, so it makes it look good.
Yeah,
like it's not a bad spear. It's just that he's doing other things that are different. It's kind of like when Lashley does his spear, he does a turning thing.
Yes, I love that.
Yeah, he does a turning thing because he protects his neck. He had it doesn't fuck up his neck, so that's why he does the turn. So there's people who do different things. But Goldberg, his shit was just like
killer.
Even now, like it was like what the fuck, like yo.
He just ramming into
97. You guys are talking about 90. When you say, oh, he wasn't good in the ring, don't use clips. Don't go to court of law using clips. That's 97. Yeah. Show me 99. Listen, even though he injured Brett in that match, his match with Brett, he was doing more moves. He was selling, doing stuff. Thank you. That's what I don't like. I'm not gonna say, oh, he was a crap wrestler. He was good for a rookie or whatever limited knowledge he had.
Fine. He was fine for what he needed to be.
He was fine after that. It was just, I think. That period, I think a lot of people, I think the reason too, they kind of probably just look over it. It's because it was more of the booking of Goldberg, of the direction. They turn him, he was face, he was still this baby face, and then they turned him heel. Then they tried to turn him back. They didn't know what they were doing with the guy.
Yeah, they booked him horribly, like WWE did in 2003.
It was because Paul Levesque was the biggest star, wasn't he? SummerSlam 2003. You talk about taking the wind out of my sails.
Oh my God, I'll never forgive him for that. But a new report from Worked Wrestling suggests that Big E, it could be returning to WWE soon, which is the reason for the current angle with the New Day. The story has seen Xavier Woods edging towards a heel turn as he continues to get frustrated with Kofi Kingston. According to the report, if Big E can get cleared, the story would end with his return to reunite the group. Please. That's my only wish. That's the main person I want to see return to WWE. It's Big E.
Did someone read my wish list? I said, let's Hart Foundation this. I said, let's do Davey Boy Smith and Owen Hart. Yes. They're having friction. They have their match for the European title. And then they're about to blow up after WrestleMania or before WrestleMania, whatever it was, or after WrestleMania. And then Brett goes, what the heck are you doing? We're family. Then they hug together. And I fake cry like Owen.
And he smiles. And he smiles behind
that was great. Yeah, that was great. Yeah. I'm hoping that's where it is. I'm hoping that Big E can come back. But at the same time, the way he was dropped on his neck, we're lucky that he's even still alive and he can move and there wasn't a Drozdov situation. If anything, Big E coming back will make me actually be okay with potentially liking Rich Holland. Because every time I look at Rich Holland, I'm like, you took away Big E from me. You took away Big E from me.
I can't like Rich Holland because he's not that good. So
he's doing okay in NXT, but you're right. He looks like a guy that's never gonna be the guy. You know, someone you're Mason Ryan. You're big, but you're a bit clueless to the mechanism of the business. You were taught by the same trainer as William Regal. Okay.
But I think also on a personal level with Big E, I think it's more personal when he comes back because it's like, we all want the best for the guy himself, right?
Mm-hmm.
He won the WWE title, but then it wasn't a great run. No fault to his own. It was just the way he was being booked. It made him look like a weak champion. And then like legit after that, several months later, that's when the injury happened. So he never really got like that redemption kind of thing that we could, that we all really want for him because we all see he's a genuine good guy. I met him like 2 years ago at Comic-Con, and this was like the same year he had the injury. And everyone was asking me, like I had like 20, 30 people message me asking me how I'm doing because they were surprised seeing him there. And he looked happy. He was, he looked very healthy. He looked happy. So I think it's more of a personal thing just to see him back in general. Like, I don't care what they do with him. But if he's able to go back in there, have fun, take bumps, I think to me that's a plus. Like, because it's something that we really don't expect to happen.
Very much agree. Before we finish up with WWE with NXT, you had Fightful reports that in a post on her Instagram stories, Alexa Bliss told her fans that she will return to WWE at some point. She has not appeared on WWE TV since 2023's Royal Rumble. She wrote, "For all the questions in my comments, yes, I will be returning." There's another person that's been out for a while, but for different reasons, because, you know,
maternity leave.
Yeah, paternity leave.
She gave birth. Like, it's different. So I knew it would be a while before we saw her again. Hopefully, she'll be
Carmella.
back.
And when she came back, she looked decent. Remember when she came back for that Elimination Chamber match? She looked good. And then what happened. She just hasn't been back.
Yeah. WWE NXT this week, they again killed it in the ratings. 874,000 viewers. The show featured new NXT champion Trick Williams kicking off the show to celebrate his win the week prior. He was interrupted by Wes Lee, who set his sights on the title until Intercontinental Champion Jey Uso showed up to celebrate with Trick. Tony D'Angelo defeated Oba Femi in a hell of a hoss fight to win the NXT North American Championship. Fraxium beat A-Town Down Under in a very fun matchup to retain the NXT Tag Team Championships. Randy Orton beat Javon Evans in a pretty solid main event with a very notable botch at the end. Post-match, though, NXT GM Ava announced that it will be Javon Evans, Wesley, and Ethan Page to determine the number one contender for the NXT Championship next week. Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, and Kalani Jordan defeated a Fatal Influence in a decent opener. Nikita Lyons made her return, getting into a backstage altercation with Lola Vice to set up a match for next week, while NXT Women's Champion Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade gloated about screwing over Julia the week prior, who came out with none other than debuting Stephanie Vaquer as the two newest NXT female stars fought off the heels and stood tall with the NXT Women's Championship. I thought it was a nice debut for Stephanie Vaquer, kind of getting that spotlight, and she looked thicker. So thumbs up. Just saying. That was the first thing I noticed. I was like, she didn't look like that when she was in New Japan and Stardom and AEW. I was like, okay.
She didn't look. Yeah, she definitely looked like that when she had her match with Mercedes.
Nope.
Listen, Obafemi is backstage, Stephanie. You know what you need to do. We know what you want.
Over about the boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, he put some extra sauce in that because he knew Stephanie was backstage, and we know what that Stephanie's into. You know what I'm saying? She wants that B B C C B B C
C C.
B. Sorry, Josh. Josh always looks at us like, you guys are just... Listen, NXT, our kids are still in NXT, Team 2001. That was funny to see because me and Sid actually reviewed the heel turn, the botched skateboard hit that Cora did on Roxanne. So to see them, reuniting is good. They needed some therapy. Their friendship's not on the mend. Obafemi, he is... I'm hoping that Obafemi beats Trick Williams at Stand and Deliver. That's who should beat Trick for the title.
Don't tell Judge
totally
that.
Agree. I agree, though. I agree. I'm with it because I feel like the because I have Jimmy on Thursday this week. He was like, Obafemi just needs to be on the main roster and become the Black Thanos for all the people that say Triple H doesn't like black people. See how he books Obafemi, and I'm like, nah, Obafemi. This NXT men's division needs him because they are fucking. They don't have any. You got Wes Lee showing up, and I'm just like, damn, Wes, I like you, but you're not it on the mic like Trick. Like it's just you're better in the ring than Trick, but on the mic you do not feel like a main eventer, even though I want you to be.
Sid, let's talk about
that suck, though. Like the guys that you want to like be like everything just are missing one or two things.
Yeah,
guys, let's talk about the fact that Wesley's been there since pre 2.0. That guy's been there for ages.
But he got injured.
Developmental. I know he had injury, but it's like if there's one guy from there, like men's side, that should go to main roster is Wesley, because Ricochet's gone, so you need a new flippity flip guy, and then Wesley could be slotted in. You need someone to eat pins now. I'm like, Wesley, go main roster. You're gonna put on great performances and then lose to Bronson Reed after great tryout. Not this.
But Wes also needs to he also needs to develop a character.
He has.
That was the main thing that was missing for him,
No.
And then now, I mean, now he has it, but at this, but I still think there needs to be more than that.
It's like the Sami thing. When Sami was sorry, Josh, for talking over you. Yeah. It's like when Sami had the annoying babyface thing, and they leaned into it, and he became a heel. He was an annoying heel. Wesley was always grouchy. Do you remember? He also had a grouchy aura about him. Even when he was North American champion, he was pissed off when a wrestler would approach him. He would be like, "Whoa, what's going on?" So he always had that energy. So him being a heel with that energy wasn't shocking to me. I'm like, yeah, you always look like people annoy you when they talk to you. So I'm not. Even when he was doing that passionate speech about his back, he looks annoyed. Yeah, his back is messed up. You should be annoyed. But I've never seen a guy look like, what am I cutting a promo right now?
cutting a promo, looking like very salty about it.
Yeah. Like, I want to get my operation. They made me come out here and talk to you guys, and I don't even want to talk right now. So you just had that energy. I want to say quickly, because I know we're going to talk about the show. I want to jump in on my opinion, so I have to leave it a bit because I have been holding the kitchen hostage.
No worries.
Tony D'Angelo is part of the original class of 2.0 guys that were being pushed in the beginning. You can argue that X Young Quinn was the failure because he's released, but Tony's far behind the other guys that's on the main roster. So him being Obafemi for me makes sense, because that's the guy who feuded with Ciampa. You can't feud with Ciampa and be a bum. So for me, Obafemi losing to the guy that faced Ciampa to be the Don or leader of NXT, that's fine, because that's NXT 2.0, whatever OG.
And they told a proper story with it. They built it.
Yes, the Rocky story. Yeah,
basically. Without him getting training from a former rival, should have been Ciampa training him. But I wanted to talk about AEW Title Tuesday before we let you go, Sat, because it did not do good in the ratings at all.
That's so sad.
Record low, 329,000 viewers going up against NXT, who killed them by 500,000. But the show I thought was solid. The show featured Bryan Danielson and Wheeler Yuta defeating Pac and Claudio Castagnoli in a great main event. Post-match, you had Bryan fighting Jon Moxley to the backstage area, while Claudio, Pac, and Marina Shafir beat down Wheeler Yuta with a ring bell hammer. And Danielson came back to fight off the BCC, with Yuta looking on in pain, reaching for his mentor to help him, which he didn't until very late. You also had Daniel Garcia returning for the first time since All Out to announce that he had made his decision to stay in AEW and re-sign with the company. He also vowed that he will win singles gold in AEW. Darby Allin and Brody King had an entertaining promo exchange to hype their WrestleDream showdown, going over their history with one another before getting physical, with Darby hitting Brody with a fucking rock right in the mouth. Don Callis and Jake Roberts completed their first AEW talent exchange, which saw Lance Archer go to the Don Callis family. Hologram beat Commander in an awesome Lucha Libre Showcase opener. Post-match, LFI jumped Hologram and Commander, laying both men out before Jake Roberts revealed that he got Rush, Dralistico, and the Beast Mordos in the trade with Callis. So I guess he won that trade 3-for-1. Willow Nightingale defeated Saraya, Nyla Rose, and Jamie Hayter to become the #1 contender for the AEW Women's World Championship against Mariah May at WrestleDream. Mercedes Moné beat Emi Sakura in a solid bout to retain the TBS and NJPW Strong Women's Championships. Swerve was announced to make his return for WrestleDream, while Don Callis admitted that he sent Konosuke Takeshita to interfere in Ospreay versus Ricochet last week because Will Ospreay didn't listen to him and let him down at Grand Slam. This led to Ospreay trying to attack Callis, but then Takeshita came out to brawl with Will until Kyle Fletcher came down. Callis tried to manipulate him into attacking Ospreay until it was Ricochet who made the save ahead of their WrestleDream 3-way coming up tonight. Sat, what did you think about Title Tuesday and everything that went down with Ospreay and Don Callis on the show, which I thought was probably the best go-home build to WrestleDream tonight.
Title Tuesday was only a flop because it's on a different day. So let's just be clear on that part. How did I feel about the show? I enjoyed mostly. For me, the highlight was the women's fatal 4-way. That was good. Commander, as Sid knows, I'm the biggest hater of the guy. I think he's a one-trick pony. He didn't mess up as much in the match. The match was decent, so I'll give him that. Let's talk about that Hurricane Run into a power bomb. It was a flop, right? It was meant to be a thing, but he just didn't. So it looked like a power bomb, so they went with it.
But that was great improv because he
was it improv or was it gravity? Are we giving props to gravity, not the wrestler?
They probably tried to do the Hurricane Rana, but they were able to switch it up in midair and make it a power.
All right. Okay, I'll give him that because I always rag on Commander. I don't think he looks lost in the ring sometimes. He's like Hoovy at his worst. The show was good. You are trying to reach out for Bryan Danielson when he's posing made me laugh so hard. I
was like, Brian, your boy's dead. Why are you not helping him?
And also, why we're here?
Bryan Danielson is selfish. That's why. It's all about him.
While we're here.
Willie Yuta is the victim, and you're all over here talking about yourself. So when Will goes and turns on him, he probably won't tell a great promo because he doesn't talk that much, but you'll understand why.
No, he would do an impassionment. Hey, Brian, because he speaks like this when he talks a promo. That's how Willie Yuta sounds. Good for him. That's the only way he talks. Don't forget, Daniel Garcia, please be a scapegoat for the title. I've been disappointed in the title reign. It's not scapegoat's fault. Jack Perry does good promos, but they haven't tried with him with the title. Yeah, if they're giving him a custom belt, a guy with a custom belt should have a run wherever, but it's the title's nowhere near significant since he's won it. I wanted more for him with the title, but they haven't done much. So please give it to Daniel Garcia because he has momentum right now. He wants to be champion, call these shots, so give it to him. Takeshita's winning the international title because it's time. As much as I wanted Will to do more with the title because he's had 2 reigns with the international title, but he hasn't defended it in CMLL. He hasn't defended it in other places because maybe he wants to be Ghost from New Japan for a while because he did do the big goodbye and he doesn't want to go back. Maybe that's hindering it. But it's time for Takeshita to go on the run of a lifetime. Ospreay's certified. He's certified. You see someone like Kip Sabian who's been there for 5 years, and Ospreay's done more in that his whole year of 2024 than Kip Sabian has done in 5 years. Yeah, beat Sammy Guevara on the first episode. Great. What else have you done? Anyway, moving along swiftly. I don't know if this is the guy, but I actually know him as well. That's I've actually dinner with him and Penelope. Actually, we're on the same table. Yes, but I want Kip to do more. Now that with Luchasaurus out, put Kip in there. I assume where this whole feud has been going is Kip joining because I think they know all the young guys have been there. It's kind of like evaluation time. You've been there for 5 years. What have you done? All right, cool. I think Kip's going to join the patriarchy. That's what it's going to go with because I think Luchasaurus is out. They need more muscle, so I think put Kip in there. That makes sense. Kip can be buttering up.
Kip now he's injured. What's happening?
He's actually he's hospitalized. Yeah, he is. He's hospitalized, and they said
pneumonia.
Yeah, and he actually
collapsed.
It actually might be career ending too. That's how they're describing it.
Should have turned that all in. Sorry, because now it's like you're not gonna get the finish. Even that's not important. His life's more important, but holding things out for as long as you have. Now you don't have the hook.
It's unfortunate all around. It's unfortunate. I mean, just because like pneumonia. When I hear about pneumonia, it kind of like it reminds me of my dad. When my dad had his stroke, it was because it got triggered from the pneumonia that he had a couple of years ago. Because of that, my dad can't work anymore. So he's been retired because of that. So it's like one of those things where it's like when I hear about it, it always kind of freaks me out because it's like that experience kind of was like eye-opening when it comes to like stuff like that. So I mean, I hope the guy is good, right? Yeah. I think him coming back to the ring would be like a plus, but I think as long as he's still around, I think that is gonna matter way more.
Great.
Emmy and Mercedes match, it was whatever. It was a TV match. It wasn't as hard hitting as I wanted it to be because I was thinking about Emmy's match with Jamie Hayter. That was one of my favorite TV match by women. You know what I'm saying? They wrestle different styles. Emmy's hard hitting, smash mouth. Mercedes likes to build something, and it was a TV match. I feel like Mercedes took off her working boots on the episode I watched. It was a fine match. I think the length of it was a bit too long because we know she's gonna win. I think if they made it more of a sprint, I would appreciate it more. Mariah May's title reign, I don't blame her. It's just like they had no plan B or whatever after a match with Tony.
They didn't have it wasn't even plan B. They didn't have a plan for after she won them the title.
So they didn't have putting it on her then.
They didn't even have concepts of a plan.
Yeah, they didn't even have a they literally had Willow lose at All Out to be her first real rival. That didn't make any sense.
Yeah, that's another thing as well.
Willow should have won at All Out if you were going to do that.
Statlander's a face now, you know, it is what it is. But Willow, when she did that promo, because Willow won the Fatal 4-Way, good match, great match. I loved it, the exchange between her and Jamie. Saraya picked her spots to look okay and adequate in the ring, whatever. Nyla Rose, underrated as always. I think Willow, based on that promo, nothing based on that promo, she's it. All right.
Yeah.
She's everything they wanted with Smiley Kylie Ray and they never got because she left. She's it. Willow is it. Tony needs to figure out, you can go to different women, you can try and poach Becky Lynch or whatever people, you have your next big star for the women's division, Willow Nightingale. That promo she cut was excellent. The way she just yeeted Mariah May with the pounce was incredible. If it was me, I'll go with Willow winning the title, but it would diminish the work he did with Mariah May and the Tony story.
And for babyface. And you know what's crazy? Like when it comes to Willow, like when you just mentioned, when it comes to Willow, she's kind of been like the same character, but she's like elevated it. Like, you know, like she's like the super over baby face that we all knew. She wasn't really talking, but now because she's talking more, she's even more likable now than she was back then.
She's turned into one of their best promos in AEW. Like, she's really good. She knows how to cut a babyface promo. But I know, Seth, you gotta give up the kitchen. So I want to give you the opportunity. Let everybody know where they can follow you on social media, when they will see you again, because I know you're gonna be on that WrestleTalk very soon, maybe even tomorrow.
It's funny, yeah. I actually am. I am reviewing WrestleDream tomorrow for WrestleTalk tomorrow, 2 p.m. 3 p.m. UK time. I don't know. I don't want to say the time because me and Ollie did we did Bad Blood. We start whenever we started, so I don't fucking know. But I am Said Niangi. Follow me at SatNext2. I'm now doing Noro's Bard, their board game thing. They finally figured out that I'm around for that, and I'm gonna actually announcing it here. This is breaking news. I'm going to start reviewing AEW Dynamite every Thursdays with Tempest. You're hearing it from me here first, announcing it here on Tru Heel Heat. It's going to be a thing. I'm going to start it, I think, 24th of October, maybe. I'm not too sure. But yeah, and I'm here as well sometimes. Like, I have a deal with Sid in place where I do this show at least once a month. I haven't done it in a while, so I need to catch up on doing shows. But I do this show on a monthly basis because I believe in Tru Heel Heat. It's one of the best around. I love talking to Josh. I love talking to Miss Krssi Luv. I love talking to Sid. That's my guy. You know, we made Mocha Mondays because we made it out of nothing. It's just two guys shooting shit. And Sid is one of the most giving guys to podcast with. That's why at one point he was everyone's podcast partner because he makes you look great. He is a great guy, so many different skill set, and I'm so happy for all the success he's been having. And I want Tru Heel Heat to continue to grow. And we'll talk about, you know, Love is Blind some other time, Sid.
Yes, because I'm all caught up. I'm all caught up. And
it's the most boring season, but it's the most.
No, this might be some of the wildest people. Niggas hiding kids. Oh, it's wild. It's wild.
It is. Guys, it sucks for me to leave. I usually like to stay to the end, but again, I got all these kids. My daughter calling my name like I'm a deadbeat or something. Like I'm here. I'm in the house.
Not a deadbeat. Oh, poor thing.
You know what I'm saying?
That's not cool.
She may get used to it. We've got a second. We've got a boy on the way. You know what I'm saying? You need to get used to it.
Love it. Yes.
We love baby's little Stat Junior.
Yay. Oh yes. You know what? I was tempted to give him Stat Junior, but I was like, you don't need that burden. You're gonna have a different name. It's going to get announced in January. When he debuts, you see the name. But yeah, until then, guys, au revoir. Love you guys.
Love you, brother. See you soon, bro. Thank you to Sat for joining us today. But let's finish off with our AEW coverage here because they had some big news last night, as reported by Fightful Select Sean Ross Sapp.
What time did they come on?
Well, no, that Rampage came on at 10 p.m. This was on social media. This was announced.
No, I didn't see it.
Select,
I went to the channel and I didn't see it. Okay, never mind.
Fightful Select, Sean Ross Sapp has confirmed that Jimmy Jacobs is done with All Elite Wrestling. The report notes that Jacobs effectively resigned over the past week and that the two sides remain applicable. Also noted, AEW is going to look at the move as a way to freshen up the writers' room, and that Jacobs has been burnt out as of late. Jacobs has been at the most shows of anyone that worked directly with Tony Khan during his time in All Elite Wrestling. He joined AEW in June of 2023 after spending years in TNA Impact Wrestling, and he worked for WWE in the mid-2010s. Prior to that, I mean, I like Jimmy Jacobs. Think that he's a very underrated figure in Ring of Honor history. But, I mean, June 2023 is when he came in, and I'd say the back half of 2023 was not good creatively for AEW. And now it's looking like we're repeating history with the back half of 2024 not being good with creative. So I kind of understand this.
Also, there was also more details. There's actually a bullet point that we got sent. Basically talking about Jimmy Jacobs. Basically saying that he was TK's right-hand man from 2023. I guess like when he got there, he was considered TK's right-hand man. He was the reason why the rankings went away. I guess that was like his idea of scrapping it. That's why it hasn't been shown. And apparently he had no idea who Kazuchika Okada was. He had no idea about him. He didn't know his work. And other things. I mean, it's a lot. So I guess when you get around to it, SP3, you'll see it. And then maybe for the WrestleDream review, we'll probably get to that a little bit more. But there's a lot. And it doesn't seem very doesn't seem like it's very good stuff, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
like,
I see positive. It was done by Ibu of Wrestle Purist. He did it on Twitter Spaces, noting that he was the right-hand man.
That's what it was.
He was not familiar with AEW programming before coming in, nor did he like it, apparently. So since this is 2019 through 2022 AEW, he was the person responsible for the Learning Tree program. He created it, not Jericho. Every single Learning Tree segment was Jimmy Jacobs. Full Gear 2023, the main event and how it was booked, which everyone hated, that was Jimmy Jacobs as well. He did not want to push Daniel Garcia and found it laughable when it came to pushing DG. He was opposed to having Takeshita win the ladder match for the TNT Championship at Forbidden Door. They were comparing Jimmy Jacobs leaving to Vince leaving creative-wise. Wow.
That's right.
It was said that he was Dynamite's top writer, and AEW talent was listening anonymously to the space and essentially agreed to all of this. Small note that he notes Peppermint had never watched AEW before she came on top, but is seen as a positive force in AEW due to her improvements for the women's division.
Yeah, that's not good.
Nope.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe they're using this as a scapegoat kind of thing. I don't know for sure, right? You know, and that's how it comes off to me. But at the same time, if he is the head writer, and these are significant kind of things, right? You're talking about not pushing Daniel Garcia, and he was a free agent. He almost left. Like, you almost lost him because of the way he was being used. And when you don't have a writer who's confident in you, that's gonna be debatable. You know, that's of course that's gonna be like one of those things. Just like, oh shit, should I leave? Because I'm probably never gonna get that big opportunity because somebody's gonna handicap it. The Learning Tree stuff, I mean, I'm not surprised about it.
It's not surprising because he was responsible.
It had him all over it
in 2016, 2017.
Yeah, with the list, right? And I think one of those things too. I think what it is that, you know, certain things work, certain things don't work. The Learning Tree was working for a little bit, and then it kind of just now is to a point that it's like we just want this off TV. Like we just want it off TV.
It's like fall. It needs to go away. The trees are going.
Yeah.
You know, the leaves are falling. Let it fall away and like die.
And then not having a Krssi not win the title. I mean, this is a guy that we want pushed too. Like we want more from him, and he didn't want that. So, you know, and it's kind of funny that he said he didn't like the AEW programming from the time frame that they're showing, but yet those were probably their best years, the best time frame. It was their best years, and it's just it's pretty telling. But I mean, again, it could be a scapegoat kind of thing, but if you're gonna shake something up,
we're not gonna understand until like a couple of months from now. If the booking and the storytelling improve, then yeah, you can say it was him that was responsible for a lot of things that were going wrong. They just have to have more long-term plans, follow through, and kind of tighten things up now that he's gone.
Yeah, so I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see from that, like you said, from that alone, we'll tell. But I mean, this came very sudden last night. Like when I heard about it, I was like, oh shit. And hearing these notes, I'm like, damn, like it didn't sound too positive to me.
Yeah. Well, we got to talk about Britt Baker, who missed this week's AEW Dynamite due to illness. She revealed on Twitter that she had suffered from strep throat. She took to Twitter to reveal that she was diagnosed with strep throat after being pulled from her match against Willow Nightingale on Dynamite this week. Baker said that she sounds worse than she feels now and thanked the fans for their get well wishes. She says she's okay and feels much better, noting that she went to urgent care and was given antibiotics. On behalf of everyone at Tru Heel Heat, our best wishes to Britt for a speedy recovery. During Wednesday's AEW WrestleDream 2024 media conference call, AEW President and CEO Tony Khan was asked by Fightful's Sean Rossap about the recent report that broadcast partner Warner Brothers Discovery has an ownership stake in AEW. According to a report by the Sports Business Journal, WBD maintained its ownership stake in AEW following the new media rights renewal deal. During the media call, Khan refused to acknowledge specifics about how the validness of the report, but he said, and I quote, "It's a fair question. I will not go into our ownership structure beyond saying I have 100% of voting stock in this company and have since the beginning, and hold the vast majority of shares. I think that's fair to say. As the sole voting owner and the vast majority stockholder of the company, I think that speaks volumes of I'm the controlling owner with 100% voting control of the business." Basically, Tony Khan basically said that WBD has a little bit of ownership stake. Because by not answering it, you're basically making me answer it for you.
Basically saying, yes, they do, instead of not answering it.
Yeah. But he has the overall control. That's what he's trying to say.
Yeah, and I also understand why he wouldn't. Yeah, and I kind of understand why he wouldn't get that information out. You know, it's just more of like those kind of like business kind of things. So, I mean, he confirmed it without confirming it. That's how I feel.
Basically,
but he made it. But I mean, you know, he did make it clear like. Basically, he has the final say to basically everything. So, I mean, that's the most important part, at least.
Mr. Banda, he says, any update on Ricky Starks and Bandito? Nothing on Bandito. The last time I heard is that he is on his way back, but not cleared. And with Ricky, he just did an interview where he basically was kind of salty. It says that he's ready to wrestle, he's in shape, but he's gonna find a way to wrestle because he's not finding it in AEW apparently.
Okay.
So.
Oh yeah, he did. Oh, I know what it was. It was a virtual signing he did for High Spots, and I think that was like one of the questions. So he basically said like, "Oh, you know, a lot of people have been sending me DMs. You know, he made it clear that one, he's healthy, he's not injured, he's ready to go." And then basically what you said, like he said that he'll find any way to wrestle. He said basically, but he also kept saying like it's not up to him. Like, hey, you know, use me. It's, you know, I'm ready to go, but again, all that stuff is not up to me. That's what he said. And he wasn't rude about it. Like when I was hearing it, he wasn't like really like he was giving me pushback. He wasn't rude about it. It kind of just felt like he was being like real. He was being honest. Like he wasn't burying nobody. He wasn't being aggressive. He was just that. It felt like that was his true answer.
And finally, before we finish up with AEW with Collision and Rampage, as previously noted, AEW star MJF Maxwell Jacob Freeman recently joined the cast of Happy Gilmore 2 opposite Adam Sandler. Fightful Select had an update on MJF's role in his expected AEW return. MJF's role in the sequel is described as a major one, and the wrestling star was reportedly filming on the movie through September. Production is said to have wrapped in the last week of the month. Additionally, MJF is reportedly expected to make his AEW TV return sooner rather than later, but an exact date is currently unknown. The report also notes that MJF signed on for another film role in an upcoming feature opposite Justin Long and Ron Perlman, and there are few other details on the project as of now. Yeah. He's got a big role being in Happy Gilmore 2. I know it's going to be on Netflix, but
Justin Long?
Yeah. A lot of major movies are on Netflix, though, now.
I haven't seen that guy in ages. Yeah. That's why I was like, when you said Justin Long, I'm like, yo, I haven't seen that guy. I haven't seen him in ages. I'm like, oh, shit, he's still around.
He's still alive? But yes. AEW Collision and Rampage. AEW Collision last Saturday had Private Party defeating Top Flight and House of Black to become the #1 contenders to face the Young Bucks for the AEW World Tag Team Championships at WrestleDream. Yet Chris Statlander beat Zoe Lynn. Post-match, Mercedes Moné and Camille came out, with Camille laying out Statlander in an apparent babyface turn for Chris. Don't understand it, but here we are.
Right, I want to say the same thing.
Darby Allin defeated Johnny TV in the opener. Post-match, Brody King came out to accept Darby's challenge for WrestleDream. Hologram defeated Action Andretti, Commander, and Nick Wayne in a fun four-way matchup. The Outrunners beat Grizzled Young Veterans in a solid match, while Willow Nightingale beat Trisha Dora, and post-match got into a brawl with Mariah May. AEW Rampage last night, the show featured the conglomerations Orange Cassidy and Kyle O'Reilly defeating Undisputed Kingdom. Yet Chris Statlander explained her abrupt babyface turn as everything changing when Mercedes Moné arrived in the company and Stokely led her down the wrong path. But that's why she's a born-again Kristen and going for revenge on Monet now. She later picked up another squash victory on the show. The Beast Mortals beat The Butcher, while Brian Keith defeated Rocky Romero in the main event. I don't understand why they did this with Chris Statlander. All you needed to do was a backstage segment that take about 15 seconds, with Stokely saying, or Statlander saying all of this, like, you led me down the wrong path. I think that now that we're done with Willow, we need to go our separate ways. And then that would have been enough. But they didn't do that. And then they did this vignette on the show that nobody watches for AEW. So not a lot of people saw this.
I don't know what they're... The explanation is not bad. The explanation is not bad. But I think it's
the execution that we don't like. That's all.
The execution, but then also I think they waited a little too long for this. They could have kind of done this earlier. But also I don't know. Like, I'm not feeling the face going back to face. I'm like, why did you do all that stuff and then you're just turning back face?
She was better. She's better I think, heel. Like those people that are better.
I think what they should have done at least is like she could still be kind of like a heelish kind of character to Mercedes, right? She has a good explanation of why she went like this. So you still could have kept that edge with her. You know what I mean? Like, not go fully, but like, you know, within the storyline, she could still be like, it could still be heel versus heel, but Chris has a valid reason of why she's going after Mercedes, right? You could have done that, and I felt like they could have, and it still keeps Statlander heel. So then when she has her next feud, she's still a heel instead of like going this completely baby face. I thought that was the direction they should have gone.
Yeah, You should have. They should have just let her and Stokely stick together, and then the feud with Mercedes is maybe the reason why she separates from Stokely. If you had to separate them, this was not the way.
Yep.
Because I understand, Sean Rossap reported that he was told by AEW sources there was no option to continue that story, but that's not enough of an explanation for what we got on TV. It just felt so abrupt and so out of nowhere that it doesn't make any sense.
Especially Stokely is he's good enough to have an explanation. Like he's good enough to put that reason there. Not nothing, like no explanation. I thought they could have done more with this, I'm like, for anything, I would have preferred her to stay heel and still have the program with Mercedes, because again, there's a reason why she said what she said. And I'm like, you can still keep her heel. She doesn't have to turn back face for that reason. She can she can still be pissed. She could be pissed about that.
I said it on Collision Discourse this week. They could have just had her been heel, and the fans would have done the work for them. They would have cheered her over Mercedes. Like, you didn't have to do all this.
Exactly. The fans are going to cheer for whoever they want to cheer for, regardless, face or heel. And I think that's what they forget. You don't always necessarily need a face versus heel type of match. It's okay. You can have two heels, and guess what? The fans will pick who they want to cheer for with no problem. And they'll probably still make the match even better.
Exactly. AEW did announce a deal with Fox Sports this week, but not the one we were expecting. AEW reached a multi-regional deal with Fox Sports Mexico that will see a new show airing on Mondays. AEW and Fox Sports Mexico announced a new broadcast rights deal on Wednesday that is described as a long-term agreement, which will see the network air all AEW's programming and special events, starting with AEW WrestleDream on October 12th. The deal will include a new show called All Elite Show that will air on Mondays, described as an original production dedicated to analyzing the most relevant events of the week and previews of upcoming AEW events. That's cool. AEW, Tony Khan, and Ian Riccaboni have filed a response to the lawsuit filed by Kevin Kelly and the Tate twins, seeking to have arbitration clauses enforced. As previously reported, Kelly and the Tate twins filed a suit against AEW, Tony Khan, and Ian Riccaboni on September 6th. The suit seeks to void the trio's arbitration clauses in their contracts and certified a class action suit, arguing that AEW is misclassifying its talent as independent contractors rather than employees. Kelly is also alleging Riccaboni and AEW of defamation of character in regard to comments by Riccaboni about Kelly's support of Sound of Freedom, with the Tates accusing Tony Khan of defamation in regards to claims that they no-showed event. Post Wrestling, John Pollock reports that the defendants have filed a 40-page motion to the lawsuit requesting that the claims to be dismissed due to improper venue and to enforce the clause in their AEW contracts that dictate operation. The response goes to argue that the plaintiffs agreed to resolve all disputes in Duval County, Florida, per their contracts, which state that the disputes will be privately resolved in operation. The response goes to note that moving the case to Florida will benefit Riccaboni, as it will potentially incur him greater costs to defend himself in Pennsylvania. So we will continue to cover the lawsuit with Tony Khan, the Tate twins, and Kevin Kelly, even though I don't see it going far. Still don't. But here we are. As previously, as we noted, Luchasaurus was hospitalized due to getting pneumonia on both of his lungs and blood oxygen below 80%. He is said to be days away from permanent lung damage. The Wrestling Observer newsletter and F4W's Brian Alvarez report that Luchasaurus is out of the hospital that needs oxygen at home, as even day-to-day activities cause him to lose his breath. He is not allowed to train and is believed to be at high risk for a relapse. He can't travel for at least 4 to 6 weeks and has to see a specialist as soon as possible. It's believed he may have a compromised immune system due to several issues, including sleep apnea. Apnea. So, excuse me. But yeah, we're wishing the best for Luchasaurus because that's very scary for him and his family.
Poor thing.
For sure. And then let's finally finish off the Converse with Ring of Honor TV this week. The show featured, you had an ROH Proving Ground matchup as Mark Briscoe picked up a victory over Josh Woods. My light is going everywhere right now. Picked up a victory over Josh Woods in the main event in a solid bout. You also had NJPW Strong Openweight Champion Gabe Kidd making his debut, defeating Anthony Henry in a solid bout as well to retain the gold. Red Velvet beat Diamante via disqualification to retain the ROH Women's TV title. Shane Taylor Promotions defeated the Infantry. Backstage after the matchup, Shane Taylor confronted Infantry and Trish Adora and tried to motivate them out of their slump. He also noted that he remembers his conversation with Trish Adora from back in 2021. So I'm hoping this leads to the Infantry joining up with Shane Taylor Promotions. This was a much better ROH TV than the last couple of weeks. I'll give them that. But let's move on over and finish up what we missed. We had Stardom, Nagoya's Golden Fight. The show featured Tam Nakano defeating Zuzu Suzuki in a terrific main event to retain the World of Stardom Championship. Mayu Iwatani, she picked up the victory over Timeless Toni Storm in a great matchup to retain the IWGP Women's Championship, with both women showing respect to one another after the matchup. Natsupoi defeated Tekla and to retain the Wonder of Stardom Championship in a very good bout. And you also had Starlight Kid picking up the victory over Hazuki in another very good matchup as well. But post-match, Hazuki turned heel in a brutal attack on SLK, ripping her mask off. Over on TNA Impact, the show featured Nick Nemeth picking up a win alongside Joe Hendry, defeating First Class in the main event. The Hardys versus ABC went to a no contest after outside interference from the system. This led to Santino Marella announcing that Brian Myers and Eddie Edwards will defend the TNA World Tag Team Championships against the Hardys and ABC in a three-way Full Metal Mayhem matchup at Bound for Glory. Speaking of BFG, Moose accepted the challenge of Mike Santana to face each other on October 26th in Detroit at the Big Show. Leon Slater defeated Laredo Kid and Jason Hodge to become the number one contender for the X Division Championship. He will face Mike Bailey for the title next week. Josh Alexander beat Eric Young thanks to interference from Sinner and Saint. Post-match, the new group known as the Northern Armory crippled EY by pulmonizing his knee. You also had Jordan Grace, Masha Slamovich, and Sol Ruka of NXT beat Tasha Steelz, Rosemary, and Wendy True in a 6-woman tag team opener that saw some miscommunication between Grace and Masha. Later in the show, Jordan Grace went looking for Masha and found her kill wall, which led to Masha challenging Jordan Grace for the TNA World Knockout Championship at Bound for Glory, with that match being made official. But that is all from what we missed this week. But that brings us to Krssi Luv's favorite time of the show, best and worst of the week, as well as match of the week. For the best and worst of the week, I'm going to go best of the week. I will give it to CM Punk. I will give it to CM Punk because of the matchup with Drew McIntyre at Bad Blood, really kind of shutting up a lot of his naysayers, showing that he still got a little bit left more in the tank. One of his best matches of his career against Drew was rated 5 stars by Dave Meltzer. Even Dave Meltzer had to give him 5 stars, and he hates CM Punk, so he has to be best of the week. And worst of the week, I will give it to Jimmy Jacobs because he's the fall guy for AEW's lack of storytelling.
Okay.
Krssi?
I agree with you. I would give it to CM Punk and give a code to Kevin Owens. And LVP is Finn Balor.
Also fair. Josh?
MVP, I'm going to give it to Daniel Garcia. He got the bag. I'm never going to be mad at somebody getting the bag. So And the fact that they did it on TV, you know, they did a promo and he confirmed it. I thought that was pretty cool to see. And LVP, I would say Jimmy Jacobs because it just happened, but gotta give, I agree with Krssi. Finn Balor, fuck that guy.
I didn't say that now, friend.
Oh no, I said it.
He was like, I'm gonna add something. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, you want to add more onto the. You want to just add more to the wound that is already like.
Because all of this is vindication.
Meat, it's terrible.
All of this is vindication because even you admitted that you forgot that he's the tag team champion. Even you forgot it.
I forgot. Yeah, I did.
This is true. Honorable mention, I will say, Chase. Yes, honorable mention should go to Triple
Yes,
H
definitely. I agree.
During the press conference, that was awful. That was really bad.
That's when I had to turn it off. I was like, my husband was like, "You're watching this?" I was like, "You can turn it off. Thanks. You can turn it off."
Thanks for reminding me. I'm gonna turn it off now.
Yeah.
All right. And matches of the week. You know me. I got a lot this week because it was a pay-per-view. It was a pay-per-view week, and you had Stardom as well. So I got a few matches I gotta mention here. So number 10, I'm gonna go with Hologram, Action Andretti, Commander, and Nick Wayne from Collision. That was really fun. Love that high-flying flippy shit. Number 9, Fraxium versus A-Town Down Under from NXT. Very good tag team title matchup. Number 8, Hologram versus Commander. That was the flippy shit I love. Enjoyed that one as well. Number 6, number 7, Bryan Danielson and Wheeler Yuta versus Pac and Claudio Castagnoli from Dynamite. Great tag team main event there. Tony D'Angelo versus Obafemi, number 6 from NXT for the North American title. That exceeded my expectations for sure. Number 5, Mayu Iwatani versus Timeless Tony Storm from Stardom. Number 4, Sheamus versus Pete Dunne, the Donnybrook matchup from Raw. Mm-hmm. Number 3, Gunther versus Sami Zayn from Raw. Number 2, Tam Nakano versus Suzu Suzuki from Stardom. And number 1, for sure, without a doubt, CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, Hell in a Cell. Krssi?
I got 5. Number 5, Gunther and Sami. 4 is the Donnybrook match. 3 is going to be the tag match from Dynamite, which was Bryan Danielson and Yuta. Yes. 2 is going to be the main event from Bad Blood, and number 1, CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre.
That is a good list. Josh?
Number 3, I'm gonna go with the main event from Dynamite. Number 2, I'm gonna go with Sami and Gunther, and then number 1 is the Hell in a Cell match from Bad Blood.
Good list there as well. But we got some big shows this weekend and on Monday. We'll start from reverse and work our way back to tonight's show. NJPW's King of Pro Wrestling is on Monday morning in Ryogoku Sumo Hall. They've got some really good matches on the card, so we'll do rapid fire predictions here. You got Hiromu Takahashi going one-on-one with Mystico of CMLL. I'm going to go with Hiromu because he's looking to get his match with Naito at Wrestle Kingdom. Who you got, Krssi?
I'm going to agree with you, Hiromu.
Josh?
Hiromu.
Then we got for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championships, Bullet Club War Dogs versus the Intergalactic Jet Setters. Who you got, Josh?
I got the tag champions retaining.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with new champions, Kushida and Kevin the Jet Knight. We got to show love to Kevin the Jet Knight. He's our boy. He was the one that was chopping it up with us with the wrestling club. Then you got for the IWG.
Oh yes, that's right. That's from like 2 years ago. Shit. Yes, damn. I forgot. Okay, my bad. Yes.
For the IWGP World Tag Team Championships, TMDK versus the Bullet Club Rogue Army I'm going with TMDK because Bad Luck Fale can't hold gold. Krssi Luv?
Okay, so we're not choosing the Bullet Club. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm going with TMDK.
Okay, so there you go. That one.
Josh.
TMDK, and this guy looks ridiculous in that picture. Like, what is that he's wearing?
Right.
Then you got Shingo Takagi versus Roye Uyoa of TMDK. Uyoa in his first big singles match since his return to New Japan from Noah. But I'm going to stick with Shingo, the never openweight champion.
Yep.
Josh?
I'm sticking with Shingo.
I'm about to say,
Krssi?
if you don't pick Shingo, I don't know what's wrong with you.
Fair. Then you got Jeff Cobb defending the NJPW World Television Championship against Ren Narita and Yota Tsuji. I am unfortunately going with the House of Torture, Ren Narita, for the win. Krssi?
That's the champ, right?
Champ is Cobb. Then you got
yes,
Tsuji
Jeff
and
Cobb.
Narita.
Okay. I'm gonna say Cobb's retains.
Josh?
I'll say Cobb retains, but I do agree. I was like, it wouldn't surprise me that the guy won.
Then you got Team Tanahashi for Tanahashi's 20th anniversary, teaming up with Shota Umino and El Phantasmo to verse the House of Torture. I'm going with Team Tanahashi here. Can't go for House of Torture twice. Josh?
Team Tanahashi, I'm not going for House of Torture at all. I don't give a fuck.
Krssi?
Team Tanahashi, especially if it's his anniversary, he should win.
Then you got for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship, Doki versus Sho. Once again, not going for House of Torture more than once. Doki for the win. Krssi?
Doki, is that the one with the mask?
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Josh?
Doki. I'm going with Doki.
Then we got for the IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship, David Finlay will defend against Hiroki Goto. I'm going with David Finlay to retain. Krssi?
Champ retains.
Josh?
Finlay retains.
And then the match that all of this is for, King of Pro Wrestling, is bigger this year than ever because the G1 Climax winner, Zack Sabre Jr., will get his shot early as he faces Tetsuya Naito for the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. Zack Sabre Jr., bring it on home. I'm from the UK now. Bring it on home to the UK. Krssi?
Zack should be the champ.
Josh?
I'm going with Zack.
Zack Sabre Jr. for the win. And King of Pro Wrestling, of course, available on NJPWWorld.com this Monday, October 14th from Ryogoku Sumo Hall. We'll have our review on Monday, so check it out here on the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel. We do have a super chat or super sticker donation from Chuck Berries. Thank you so much, Chuck Berries. Always showing us some love. We appreciate it. Final call for super chat donations because we're going down the home stretch as we only got final predictions for WrestleDream tonight. We got Cyclops.
It's on tonight? I thought it was tomorrow.
WrestleDream's tonight.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Chuck Berries, for the super chat donations. Show some love to us, guys. We've been killing it for the last couple of hours.
I mean, to be fair, Cyclops, you should have seen what we had to do a couple years ago. New Japan was being so stingy with their stuff. We were using stick figures. No lie. We were using stick figures.
Those were the Chuck Berries. Go back to past like 2 years ago. Tru Heel Heat when Romeo used to have the stick figures for us.
Yes, I remember. I love the stick figures though. I miss them actually.
So like be grateful that we got this. Like
we should. I think we should have the stick figures back. It's at least for 300, maybe.
Maybe. Well, talk to Romeo. There you got AEW WrestleDream tonight from Tacoma, Washington. 0 hour. Will start about, I think, 6:30, 7 p.m. You got the for one-on-one. It's going to be Anna Jay going up against Harley Cameron. I'm going with Anna Jay here. Krssi?
Anna Jay. Harley, they don't believe in Harley, so.
No, I think they believe in Harley. She's only had like fucking 25 matches in her career.
And she's actually been decent, like, to be honest, for somebody who has not like really
wrestled that much. Yeah,
she's actually not bad.
No, she's not. But I'm meaning like I don't believe that they want her to win. That's what I mean. So.
Oh, that's
yeah,
That's what I meant by they don't believe in her. So
yeah.
Krssi Luv,
hey!
your favorites, MXM Collection will go up against the Acclaimed. I'll put it up for you. Who you going with, Krssi Luv?
Eminem for sure. Hey, they should win.
MXM.
MXM. There you go. Eminem's.
I'm going with the Acclaim because Tony Khan loves to have them win. Josh?
Likes
I think
for whatever reason.
the Acclaim I think wins, but I wouldn't mind XMM to win. I wouldn't mind them winning. I think they need it a little bit more.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can we do tips?
Touch it?
Everyone put the tips in there.
Here.
Okay,
here,
wait.
Touch tips over here. You got to go to the end for me.
Okay, damn, Spider-Man is in the okay. We can't figure it out. Okay,
There you go. It's okay. It's okay. I'll do it with Josh. You gonna touch
do it,
tips, Josh? Touch tips, Josh. There you go. There we go. Down here. Down here. Okay. He don't care that much. He don't care that much to touch my tips. For the Ring of Honor World Television Championship, it's going to be Atlantis Jr. defending against Brian Cage. I originally went with Atlantis Jr., but I'm actually going to go with Brian Cage because
he should win. He should be a champion. Yeah. I feel like Brian Cage should win. I agree with you on that one, SB. He's been there for like ever and ever. He had the damn TAS championship for so damn long. You don't even remember that shit. So yeah, he needs the championships to make him relevant.
Josh?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Cage.
Going with Cage for the victory there. Then you got Swerve Strickland on the main show. He will return to AEW for the first time since All Out. I'm just going to put it out. The only prediction you need to have, are we going to see the debut of Bobby Lashley? I'm going with a big yes, 100%.
I agree.
Yes.
I agree with that. I'm very excited to see what these guys are going to cook up.
Josh?
Yes.
There we go. Then we got a Washington's own Darby Allin going up against another Washington native, Brody King. This should be brutal and violent. I'm going with Darby to win, though. Krssi?
I love Darby, but give it to Brody. Brody needs some, love in his life.
Oh, no. Within this feud, I think it's Darby because
so
Brody owns him. Brody owns him. He owns Darby. So Darby needs something.
Okay, so then we're gonna go with Darby for the win.
Then we got for one-on-one. This one I'm looking forward to. Hangman Adam Page going one-on-one with Switchblade Jay White. Josh, who you got?
This one's actually pretty tough. Fuck yeah, I'm gonna go with Switchblade.
Yeah, nah, Jay White gotta win. No, fuck Adam Page, yo. Jay White just came back. He needs some type of like importancy to make, Jay White gotta win.
20-minute time limit draw.
That's what you're going with? That's what you're saying. I'm not mad.
I'm going with a tie. Neither guy should lose this one. Like
you're right.
That's why it's tough. No, that's why it's tough.
Right.
That's what I'm like.
20-minute draw. And maybe some type of interference that makes it become a damn draw. That's why.
Yeah. If anybody wins, I agree with that, though. Jay White should. Best 2 out of 3 falls. Hologram will versus the Beast Mortos. I think this should be a bunch of fun. I'm going with Hologram to continue his winning streak. Krssi?
Now, these guys are amazing. And I don't even know how this guy wrestles in that damn mask. I'm going with the Beast, though. Beast to win.
Frank Martos. Oh my God. Roderick Strong made me pop during his matchup on Rampage. He said he's Frank Martos, attorney at Raw.
At Raw?
Josh, who you got?
I got Hologram. And he looks cool there. Look at his man. He looks like Geyer Man.
Now, yeah, it looks better right there. But when you see it in person, it's just regular, like it doesn't even like it's just yeah.
The match that no one seems to be looking forward to. Mark Briscoe will defend the Ring of Honor World Championship against Chris Jericho. Unfortunately, Chris Jericho's going to win.
Yeah, I'm about to say I know they're going to do some fuck shit like that because I would want Mark to keep it, but something just tells me the learning tree is just going to keep going for whatever fucking reason. And Chris Jericho is now like he has the Bret Hart clause. He wants to do whatever the fuck he wants to damn do, and no one is telling him no. So,
Josh.
No, I'm going with Mark. I gotta believe. I gotta believe. I can't put that in my mind. I gotta go with Mark.
TNT Championship, Jack Perry will defend against Kazuchika Shibata. I'm going with Perry here because he's got to lose to Garcia at Full Gear next month. Krssi?
Okay, then Perry will win. Even though I love that Shibata talks with a cell phone and do the translation. It's very genius. I love it.
Josh?
I think Perry wins. And, you know, I know Sat was saying some stuff about him. I kind of actually been liking what they've been doing with Jack. That's just me.
Oh, yeah, I don't mind what they did with Jack.
Then we got for the AEW World Tag Team Championships, the Young Bucks will defend against Private Party. I would not be surprised if Private Party pulls off the upset, but I'm going to go with the safe bet, Matthew and Nicholas Jackson. Krssi?
I don't see them doing that, SP. I don't see them, like, giving it to Private Party. I feel like they think Private Party is still a damn joke.
That's fair. Josh?
The young Bucks.
I think the Bucks retain because they got the pin recently on too. So there's gonna be the Bucks getting it back. So I think the Bucks retain. Even though, you know, Private Party are all my guys, you know, in real life. So
yeah, no, I like that. I love Private Party.
Wouldn't mind it. Would not mind it if they get the title.
I wouldn't. No, I would love to see them win and go for like 2 weeks and you know then they lose it. But yeah, I wouldn't mind them. Why are you guys laughing? That's
no, he's at 2 weeks
and then they lose it.
Right, he's at 2 weeks and then they lose it.
Because you're not gonna do some stupid shit like that. But no, I wouldn't mind them actually like, you know, winning. I would be really, really happy that they did win. You know what I'm saying?
That's fair.
It's only but one of the second teams that's black that's there, and they, you know.
AEW Women's World Championship, Mariah May will defend against Willow Nightingale. I think I'm going against the grain here. I'm going with Willow to be the new champion.
Ooh.
Krssi?
I like that idea. I wouldn't be mad at Willow winning and being champion. So I'll go with you on that one, SP. Let's go out on a limb.
Josh?
Oh,
we're on our own.
Yeah, I got damn, I'm like trying to think. Because I'm like, fuck. I do like Willow. Fuck it. I'll go with Willow. Fuck it.
There we go. We're all going with Willow. Going out on a limb, even though it's probably Mariah retains. For the AEW.
If y'all going down the ship, I'll go too. Fuck it.
That's what I'm talking about. AEW International Championship. I think this is going to be the match of the night. Will Ospreay will defend against Ricochet and Konosuke Takeshita. This just gives me vibes of AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe versus Christopher Daniels. I'm going to go with, I can't go on the limb twice, so I'll go with Will Ospreay to retain. even though I would not be surprised if Takeshita wins this one. Josh?
Right. I'm about to say the same thing. And he pins Ricochet and not Will Ospreay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't go against my boo. So yeah.
Josh.
I think this one, I think Takeshita wins. He gets the belt, it goes back to the Don Callis family, and then it still builds up that feud between them.
That's fair. That is fair. And then finally, for the AEW World Championship and Bryan Danielson's full-time career on the line, it will be Bryan defending against Jon Moxley. Is it all over for Bryan in his home state of Washington, or will the magical run continue? Krssi?
I think this is going to be bloody and messy, and Danielson loses.
Josh?
I'm gonna say Danielson retains. I think they're gonna continue.
And I'm the tiebreaker. I think you finished the story. Jon Moxley gives him a Warriors ending in his home state and buries him in his backyard, like you said. Jon Moxley.
Damn it!
You believe in me? Yay!
Four-time AEW World Champion. It should be that's been doing the heavy lifting for this build. I have not liked the build to WrestleDream. I've said it enough. I think it's the weakest build of any of the pay-per-views in 2024 for AEW. But AEW pay-per-views always deliver on the night.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
It'd be a great show.
I agree with that. I felt like the build-up kind of felt like somebody who forgot about an assignment and just like rushed it. Or they probably forgot that they had a pay-per-view because they focused more on like Grand Slam and the other stuff that they were doing. And then they're like, oh shit, this is on the calendar. Fuck, what do we do?
Yeah.
But you know how they do with their pay-per-views, so
yeah,
they always
that's why
there's only been like two exceptions to the rule. Only been two.
Yeah, like, and that's why I'm not too worried about it. And honestly, there's about good like 4 or 5 matches I really want to see. So to me, that's a plus for me. So I mean, I think they'll be fine.
Agreed. We all agreed there. But that brings us to a close on this edition of Tru Heel Heat. I want to thank Sat E Niangi for joining us today. Always our great special guest that we got on the show. And of course, thank you to my co-host here, who won't be joining me next week, but I will be joined by another good friend of the channel, Scott E Wrestling. Will be joining me next week, and I think we'll have another special guest joining us as well. But I want to give you the floor, Miss Krssi Luv. Where can they find you on social media? When they will see you again?
I will be back here with my good brother SP. I believe is for Monday
Yes.
on our other channel. We're gonna do our Bel Air review. Other than that, you can find me Krssi Luv _1 Tru Heel Krssi Luv. Is on IG and just my plain old name. If you want to get hit me up, friends. I'm the officiant. Thanks.
The officiant herself. Josh, where can they find you?
You can follow me, JMPunk321, Twitter and Instagram. And are you doing the WrestleDream review tomorrow?
Yes, indeed.
I'll be on for that.
There we go. Yes. Probably be live 12:05 p.m., 1:05 p.m., around that time, as usual, for our pay-per-view review. So we'll be here for AEW WrestleDream review. Josh will be there. I believe we'll also have Professor Chris joining us to break everything down for WrestleDream tonight. Of course, that's going to be available on pay-per-view, so check it out. Pay the money or find another way to watch it. I'm not going to suggest anything. But you can follow me on the Twitter machine at Tru Heel SB3. Follow the gang, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at Tru Heel Heat. Patreon.com/Tru Heel Heat. We got some new content going to be up and running in a bit over there. So a good time to subscribe over there as well. But for Sat E Niangi, for Miss Krssi Luv, for the Tru Draw Josh, it is me, your Tru Heel Phenom, SP3. This has been Tru Heel Heat 298. I forgot the name. Final Boss Engage. We are signing off until next time.
Laters.